Lord Peter Wimsey. Starring Ian Carmichael as Lord Peter, with Carlton Hobbs as the judge, Charlotte Mitchell as the Dowager Duchess, and Anne Bell as Harriet Vane. Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers. Adapted in 6 episodes by Chris Miller. Episode 1, Old Bailey.
I'm terribly afraid, Peter, that we are going to be too late to obtain seats.
Now, don't worry about that, Mother. Old Parker Bird has reserved some for us, and Freddie Arbuthnot has promised to keep them warm till we arrive.
Freddie, what's his interest in this trial?
Just curiosity, like everyone else. Murder is always fascinating, don't you know? And when it's a case of a young woman being accused of poisoning her lover, it becomes nothing short of sensational. Particularly when she admits to buying in large quantities of arsenic and produces such a dashed entertaining reason for doing so.
What reason precisely, dear?
Yes. Well, I don't want to spoil it for you, Mother. The judge is summing up today, so he'll be going through all the evidence. Incidentally, the case against the prisoner will be very convincing and watertight. The judge will be beastly hostile, and the jury will undoubtedly convict.
Very well, dear.
But one thing I can tell you for certain, Mother. Harriet Vane did not murder Philip Boyes.
Just as you say, dear.
Members of the jury, you have listened with great patience to the evidence in this distressing case, and it is now my duty to sum up the facts and arguments which have been put before you so as to help you in forming your decision. The deceased, Philip Boyes, was, as you have heard, a writer, and in the year 1927 he became acquainted with the prisoner Harriet Vane, who is also a novelist by profession. She has told us herself, with great candour, how she became deeply attached to Philip Boyes, and how 8 months after meeting him she consented to live on terms of intimacy with him outside the bonds of marriage. Now, you may feel, and quite properly, that this was a very wrong thing to do. You will not be led away by the false glamour which certain writers contrive to throw about free love into thinking that this was anything but an ordinary vulgar act of misbehaviour. Sir Impey Biggs, very rightly using all his great eloquence on behalf of his client, has spoken of Miss Vane's unselfish sacrifice and immolation. He will not, I am sure, pay too much attention to this. At any rate, Philip Boyes and the prisoner lived together in this fashion for nearly a year, apparently on terms of the greatest mutual affection. Nevertheless, in February 1929 there was a quarrel, and the couple separated. One of the curious features of this case is the reason assigned for this quarrel. After that, the only evidence we have is the prisoner's own, given, you will recall, during cross-examination by the Attorney General.
Now, Miss Vane, I would like, if I may, to take you back to that evening of February the 9th. Could you tell the court precisely what Mr. Boyes said to you after dinner?
He made a suggestion which I found intolerably patronizing and insulting.
And what was that?
He asked me to marry him.
Could you explain to the court, Miss Vane, why exactly you found a proposal of marriage so unwelcome?
Because he'd made a fool of me. I'd never wanted to live with him outside marriage. He persuaded me to do so against all the religious principles I'd been brought up on. I saw no reason why we shouldn't have been married from the start. But he told me he was totally opposed to formal marriage. And I believed him. But it was all just a test. He just wanted to see whether I would be as slavishly devoted to him as his vanity required. And when he saw I was, he was prepared to condescend to marry me. I felt utterly humiliated.
Surely that was not the sole cause of that evening's quarrel.
Yes, it was.
And there must have been something else, some other grievance. He had been unfaithful to you, perhaps, or unkind.
No.
Very well. So, what was the upshot?
I packed up all my things the next morning and left his house for good. I stayed with a friend for a week or so and then took a small flat of my own in Doughty Street.
And did you see Mr. Boyes again before he died?
Yes, once or twice at the houses of friends.
These assignations...
They weren't assignations. They were accidental encounters.
Very well, these accidental encounters. Various prosecution witnesses have testified that there were at least 3 such One at the end of March, another in the second week of April, and a third sometime in May. Is that correct?
They were informal gatherings, so I cannot swear to the dates, but I believe that is substantially correct, yes.
Did you speak to Mr. Boys on any of these occasions?
I was polite, but no more.
You still felt animosity towards him?
I was still very angry with him.
Angry enough to give him arsenic?
No! Not ever angry enough for that.
Well, members of the jury, that is for you to consider. Whether Philip Boyce's proposal of marriage could reasonably be construed as a motive for murder. But I must impress upon you that no other motive has been suggested in evidence. Let us now turn our attention to the question of the arsenic. On April the 10th, a young woman who has been identified as Harriet Vane entered a chemist's shop in Southampton Row and purchased 2 ounces of commercial arsenic, saying that she needed it to destroy rats. You will recall the prisoner's evidence concerning this transaction given during Sir M.P. Biggs' examination in chief.
Miss Vane, did you in fact buy arsenic, as stated by witnesses, on April the 10th?
Yes, I did.
And what name did you sign in the poisons book?
Mary Slater.
Did you use the arsenic to destroy rats?
No.
Did you make any further purchases of arsenic?
Yes. On May the 5th, I bought a tin of arsenical weed killer from a different shop and gave the name Edith Waters.
Miss Vane, what is your profession?
I'm a novelist. I write detective stories.
Could you tell the court, Miss Vane, why you made these 2 purchases of arsenic?
Because at the time I was writing a novel about arsenic poisoning, and I wanted to prove by experiment how easy it is for an ordinary person to get hold of the stuff.
Please continue, Miss Vane.
There's a scene in the book where a young woman goes into a chemist shop and buys a considerable quantity under a false name. I had to prove to myself that it was within the bounds of possibility.
Miss Vane, when did you get the idea for this story?
Last December. I discussed it at the time with Mr. Challoner, my literary agent.
Last December? So you were discussing plans for a novel which involved the surreptitious purchasing of arsenic some 2 months before your quarrel with Philip Boyce?
Yes.
My lord, at a later stage I shall call Mr. Challoner to corroborate Miss Vane's evidence on this point.
That, then, members of the jury, is the prisoner's explanation of these purchases, and you must consider it for what it is worth. Now, about this time, Philip Boyce began to suffer from renewed attacks of a gastric trouble to which he had been subject for some years. There is, however, a coincidence of dates here which may be significant, for each of these attacks occurred within a day or so of his meeting Miss Vane. Indeed, in 2 cases, within a few days of Miss Vane's purchase of arsenic. At any rate, after the 3rd attack, Boyce was advised by his doctor to take a holiday, and he went to North Wales with a friend, Mr. Ryland Vaughan. According to Mr. Vaughan, Philip Boyce's health improved dramatically there, but he continued to fret about Harriet Vane. On June the 16th, he wrote to her, saying he would be back in town on the 20th and would like to see her to attempt a reconciliation. Miss Vane replied in a cold, almost hostile note that he could come round at 9:30 p.m. on the 20th if he wished, but she had no intention of changing her mind. Nevertheless, Philip Boyce came back to town on the afternoon of the 20th. We now come to the evening of that day, and I ask for your particular attention here, because it was undoubtedly in the course of this evening that the fatal dose of arsenic was administered. At 7:30, Mr. Boyce went round to have dinner with his cousin, Mr. Norman Urquhart, in whose house in Woburn Square, incidentally, he had gone to reside shortly after Miss Vane left him. The door was opened by Mr. Urquhart's maid, Hannah Westlock, and I would like to recall to you in detail Miss Westlock's evidence.
Miss Westlock, how did Mr. Boyce look to you when he arrived on the evening in question?
Oh, he looked very well, sir. Fitter than I'd seen him for months.
Can you tell the court where he went when he entered the house?
Yes, sir. He went straight up to his room, and about a quarter of an hour later he came down to the library for sherry.
Was Mr. Urquhart in the library then?
No, sir. He came in almost immediately after.
Carry on, Miss Westlock. Who poured the sherry?
I did, sir. I decanted a fresh bottle on the master's orders and poured the gentlemen out a glass each. They wasn't long about it and came into dinner shortly.
And where were you throughout dinner?
In the dining room, sir. Master likes me to be in attendance the whole time.
Very dignified custom. Could you now tell the court, Miss Westlock, what the gentlemen ate that evening?
Well, sir, they had clear soup, sir, followed by turbot with sauce and then casserole chicken, sir, and finally a sweet omelette.
Did they finish all these dishes?
No, sir. The first 3 courses came back to the kitchen, and Mrs. Pettican, that's the cook, and we finished them off for our supper.
And did you feel any ill effects after the meal?
No, sir.
Tell us about the sweet omelette, Miss Westlock. There was none of that left, you say?
No, sir, because it has to be eaten at once, sir. Mr. Urquhart's very particular about that, sir. So Mr. Boyce cooked it at the table in a chafing dish and then divided it into 2 portions, one for himself and one for the master, sir.
And you say Mr. Boyce cooked it?
Yes, sir.
And did they both eat their portions?
Oh, yes, sir.
Was there anything at all at the table which Mr. Boyce partook of alone?
Yes, sir. There was a bottle of Burgundy. Mr. Urquhart don't drink at meals now, but Mr. Boyce had a couple of glasses, and afterwards I corked the bottle up, sir.
Thank you, Miss Westlock. Millard, I shall be calling Sir James Lubbock later to testify that the contents of that bottle were fortunately preserved and were later analysed and found to be harmless.
So you see, members of the jury, every article of diet except the wine was partaken of by 2 people at least, and in most cases by 4. And neither Mr. Urquhart, Miss Westlock, nor Mrs. Pettican felt any ill effects. This brings us to 9 o'clock. After dinner, coffee was ordered, but Boyce excused himself on the ground that he would probably be given coffee by Harriet Vane. At 9:15 he left Woburn Square and took a taxi the half-mile or so to Doughty Street. He arrived at 9:25, and Miss Vane let him in immediately. Now, as the interview was naturally a private one, we have no account of it to go upon, but that of the prisoner. You will remember what she said in cross-examination?
Well, as I said, as soon as he'd come in and I'd closed the door, I offered him a cup of coffee. He said he'd love some, so I poured out 2 cups. He didn't take milk or sugar, and nor do I.
I see. Miss Vane, could you tell the court where the coffee was standing?
It was in a saucepan, the saucepan I'd made it in.
Miss Vane, I have here a copy of a statement you made to Chief Inspector Parker on September the 30th. In it you say, and I quote, "I had a cup of coffee ready for him on his arrival." Did you have a cup of coffee ready?
Not in a cup. No, the coffee was in the saucepan, as I said.
Then why did you say in your statement that the coffee was in a cup?
I didn't. I said I had a cup of coffee ready, meaning a certain quantity of coffee.
Is that a normal expression amongst the bohemians of Bloomsbury?
Miller, I object to my learned friend's sneering tone.
Thank you, Sir Impey. Mr. Attorney, could you possibly phrase your question less tendentiously?
As your lordship pleases. Miss Vane, is a cup of coffee, meaning a certain quantity of coffee, a normal expression?
It is to me, yes.
Thank you, Miss Vane.
Well, members of the jury, whether that phrase is normal usage is something you will be able to judge for yourselves. But I hardly need point out how damaging to Miss Vane's case any suggestion that the cup had been prepared in advance would be. Be that as it may, according to the prisoner's evidence, the interview was not a satisfactory one, and at 10 o'clock the deceased expressed his intention of leaving her. She says that he appeared uneasy and remarked that he was not feeling well, adding that her behaviour had greatly upset him. At 10 minutes past 10, that is a full 10 minutes later, and I would like you to make a particular note of that, the taxi driver Burke, who was standing on the rank in Guildford Street, was approached by Philip Boyce and told to take him to Woburn Square. When the taxi stopped before Mr. Urquhart's house, Boyce did not get out, and on opening the door to investigate, Burke found him huddled in the corner in agony. He was helped into the house, and as this attack appeared to be much more serious than usual, Mr. Urquhart summoned Dr. Weir by telephone. Before the doctor's arrival, the patient vomited violently and thereafter continued to vomit persistently. Dr. Weir diagnosed the trouble as acute gastritis and made up a soothing medicine to control the vomiting, but this unfortunately had little effect. The next morning, the patient's condition had deteriorated to such an extent that a nurse was called in. On the 22nd, he became weaker and lost consciousness, and at 3 o'clock on the morning of June the 23rd, he died. I will now adjourn the court for lunch.
Roast beef for you, Mother?
Very nice.
Well, I'll have the same. There's 2 roast beefs, waiter.
Oh.
Ready?
Oh, I don't know. He would adjourn just at the beastliest moment when everybody's appetite is thoroughly taken away. However, I could manage to fold a chop into the system.
Mutton?
Fine.
And a mutton chop, waiter.
Yes.
With all the usual trimmings, what?
Thank you, my lord.
Such an interesting case, don't you think so, Freddie?
I was just wondering to myself why I'd come to the ballet show, actually, Duchess. Tedious, I find it. The gal's not even pretty. I don't think I'll go back after grub.
I'll wager that you do, Freddie. Oh, excuse me a moment, Mother, there's Biggie. Must just have a word with him.
Yes, well, you run along, dear, and give Sir Impey my regards.
He's right here.
Yes.
Gone to put an alternative theory of some kind, I expect.
I expect so.
Top hole to see old Wimsey back, ain't it? Wonderful how keen he is on this sort of thing, don't you know? Rampages off the minute he gets home like the jolly old war horse sniffing the TNT, what? Regularly up to his eyes in it.
Yes, well, you see, it's one of Chief Inspector Parker's cases, and they're such great friends, you know, quite like David and Beersheba. Or do I mean Daniel? What the jury make of it, though, I don't know, with faces like hams, most of them, except the one who looks like an artist, and he wouldn't have any features at all if it wasn't for that dreadful tie on his beard, looking like Christ. Well, only not really Christ, but one of those Italian ones in a pink frock and a blue top thing. Wasn't that Peter's Miss Climpson on the jury?
Who?
Miss Climpson, the elderly spinster who looks as if she stepped out of a magazine of the 90s.
Oh, yes, ain't she the one who runs that comic charity stunt of Wimsey's for him?
Oh, yes, yes. Such a good thing, too, answering all those shady advertisements and then getting the people shown up. So courageous, too. Some of them the horridest, oily people. And murderers, I shouldn't wonder, with automatic thingamies and life preservers in every pocket. And very likely a gas oven full of bones, like Landru. So clever, wasn't he? And really such women. Born murderesses, as somebody says. Quite pig-faced, but not, of course, deserving it. And possibly the photographer don't do them justice, poor things. Ah, here's Peter.
I'm frightfully sorry to disappear like that, Mater, but I had to say a word to Biggie. He's having a rotten time. And that old Jeffries of a judge looks as though he was getting measured for the black cap. Confound the fellow for not reading out that letter again.
What letter, Wimsey?
The one Boys wrote to Miss Vane from North Wales. Biggie made a lot of it in his closing speech yesterday. It was full of self-pity. Life is an utter mess-up. I can't stick it out here any longer. If I can't make you see this thing in the right perspective this time, I'll chuck it for good. I decided to cut adrift and take a trip out west. That sort of thing, you know. Biggie argued that it strongly suggested Boys was thinking of suicide.
Yes, but if it was suicide, when did he take the arsenic, dear?
Well, what about those 10 minutes between leaving Miss Vane and hiring the cab? If he'd taken it in liquid form, he'd have been getting the jolly old symptoms in a quarter of an hour.
You've been reading up the subject, Peter.
Yes. Dangerous to know too much about poisons, what? Look at the trouble it landed Miss Vane in. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape the Old Bailey.
Well, the young woman doesn't seem to have tried that recipe, does she?
You ought to be on the jury, Freddie. I bet that's what they're all saying at this moment. I'm convinced that foreman is a teetotaler. I saw ginger beer going into the jury room. I only hope it explodes and blows his inside through the top of his skull.
All right, I understand. What you want is a drink. Now, where's that wine waiter? Ah, waiter! Waiter!
Members of the jury, Philip Boys died at 3 a.m. on the 23rd of June this year. Dr. Weir issued a death certificate stating that the cause of death was acute gastritis, and the funeral took place on the 28th of the same month. Up to this time, of course, no suspicion of any kind had been aroused. However, during the month of August, the nurse who had been called in 2 days before Boys died, Nurse Williams, went to look after another friend of Ryland Vaughan's. Mr. Vaughan, you recall, was the gentleman who accompanied Boys to North Wales. Rather indiscreetly, you may think, Nurse Williams spoke about Philip Boys to her new patient, saying that in her opinion his illness had looked very much like poisoning, and even mentioning the word arsenic. This quickly got to the ears of Mr. Vaughan. Now, Mr. Vaughan had been greatly distressed and surprised by Philip Boyce's death after his immense improvement on holiday. In addition, he felt that Harriet Vane had behaved badly, not only about the love affair, but particularly in not even attending the funeral. He therefore went to Dr. Weir and asked his opinion. Dr. Weir, while naturally upset to hear of any suggestion of poisoning, nevertheless had to admit that the symptoms of arsenical poisoning and acute gastritis are really indistinguishable. On hearing this, Mr. Vaughan at once wrote to Philip Boyce's father, suggesting an inquiry, and as you have heard, eventually the police were communicated with and an exhumation order obtained. We now come to the evidence of the distinguished analyst, Sir James Lubbock.
Sir James, did you analyze the body of Philip Boyce for arsenic?
I did.
Could you tell the court what this involved?
Certainly. My colleague and I took certain organs of the body, the stomach, intestines, kidneys, liver, and so on, and first of all subjected small portions of them to Marsh's test for arsenic, which indicated that they all contained the element. Having established that arsenic was present, we then undertook a series of quantitative analyses and calculated from our results an approximate figure for the total weight of arsenic in the body. We then allowed for the amount of arsenic eliminated from the body.
How was that done?
Arsenic passes through the body extremely quickly under normal conditions, especially if taken with food or immediately following a meal, because the arsenic irritates the lining of the internal organs and speeds up the process of elimination. In this case, there was additional elimination through vomiting. We came to the conclusion that a large and fatal dose of arsenic, 4 or 5 grains perhaps, had been taken about 3 days before death.
Did you test the hair and fingernails for arsenic?
We did.
Did you find arsenic present?
Yes.
More than in the hair of a normal, healthy person?
Considerably more.
How far along the hair did you find arsenic?
About half an inch.
And what, in your opinion, does this indicate?
That the deceased had taken arsenic at least 3 months before his death.
Thank you, Sir James.
And you will have to decide, members of the jury, what importance is to be attached to that evidence in view of the prisoner's purchase of arsenic in April and May and the deceased's attacks of sickness in March, April and May. There is just one more point for us to consider. It has been suggested by the defence that Philip Boyce may have taken the arsenic himself after leaving Harriet Vane's flat. And they bring forward books which show that the onset of symptoms can take place in a very short time after taking the arsenic. As little as a quarter of an hour if the arsenic is in liquid form. You must therefore ask yourselves whether, after leaving Miss Vane's, Philip Boyce went to some quiet spot and took a dose of arsenic, which he must in that case have brought with him in anticipation of an unfavourable interview. But I must remind you here that the defence have brought no evidence to show that Philip Boyce ever bought any arsenic or had access to any. Well, I think that is the case as it is presented to you. This woman is charged with having murdered her former lover by arsenic. He undoubtedly did take arsenic, and if you are satisfied that she gave it to him with intent to injure or kill him, and that he died of it, then it is your duty to find her guilty of murder. Sir Impey Biggs, in his able and eloquent speech, has put it to you that she had very little motive for such a murder. But I am bound to tell you that murders are very often committed for what seem to be the most inadequate motives, if indeed any motive can be called adequate for such a crime. The prisoner had the means, the arsenic, the expert knowledge, and the opportunity to administer it. If you feel that there is any reasonable doubt that the prisoner gave this poison to Philip Boyce deliberately, you must bring her in not guilty of murder. You are not bound to decide how it was given, if it was not given by her. Consider the circumstances of the case as a whole, and say what conclusion you have come to.
Glad you stayed, Freddie?
Not really. But I suppose I may as well wait for the verdict now. They can't be long.
You think it's all cut and dried, do you?
Well, it's obvious, ain't it? I suppose they can't in decency not make a pretence of consulting about it. I'm giving them 20 minutes.
It's all wrong, you know, old man.
All wrong? We don't really mean that, Wimsey.
I do.
But I mean, dash it, where's the flaw in it?
There isn't one. It's damnably knife-proof. There's nothing wrong about it at all. Except that the girl's innocent.
You're turning into a common or garden psychologist, isn't he, Duchess?
Well, I wish I had known that girl. So interesting. A really remarkable face. Though perhaps not strictly good-looking, and all the more interesting for that, because good-looking people are so often cows. I read one of her books recently, you know, really quite good and so well written. And I didn't guess the murderer till page 200. Rather clever, because I usually do about page 15. So very curious to write books about crimes and then be accused of a crime oneself. Some people might say it was a judgment. I wonder whether, if she didn't do it, she has spotted the murderer herself. I don't suppose detective writers detect much in real life, do they, except Edgar Wallace, of course, who always seems to be everywhere, and dear Conan Doyle, and the black man, what was his name? And, of course, the Slater person, such a scandal. Although, now I come to think of it, that was in Scotland, where they had such very, very odd laws about everything, particularly getting married. Well, I suppose we shall soon know now, not the truth, necessarily, but what the jury have made of it.
Their 20 minutes is up, dash it. I say, Wimsey, did she really not do it?
Ah, I have locked my heart in a silver box and pinned it with a golden pin. Nobody's opinion matters now except the jury's. I expect Miss Climpson is telling them all about it. And when once she starts, she doesn't stop for an hour or two. She has a militant high church conscience of remarkable staying power, and a person who can believe in all the articles of the Christian faith ain't going to boggle over a trifle of adverse evidence. Go and have dinner, Freddie L. Bean, or go to sleep or something. Nothing's going to happen for ages. Not for ages. Wake up, Freddie. They're coming, my own, my sweet. Were it never so airy a tread.
What? Good Lord, they've been out 5 hours. Look at their faces.
Yes, they say if it's going to be guilty, they never look at the prisoner.
And they're all looking at the floor, except Miss Climpson. You're wrong, Wimsey. Sorry, old man.
Members of the jury, have you all agreed upon your verdict?
I'm sorry to say that we find it impossible to come to an agreement.
Do you think that with a little more time you may be able to reach an agreement?
I'm afraid not, my lord. I see no prospect at all of our ever agreeing.
Can I assist you in any way?
No, thank you, my lord. We quite understand the evidence, but we cannot agree about it.
You're quite sure? I do not wish to hurry you in any way. I'm quite prepared to wait here as long as you like.
We shall never agree, my lord. Not if we was to stay here till doomsday.
That is very unfortunate. But in that case, of course, there is nothing for it but to discharge you and order a fresh trial.
Oh, good old Miss Climpson. She's done it. Oh, good egg. Excellent, excellent egg. We've got another chance.
In that episode of Strong Poison, the parts were played as follows. Lord Peter Wimsey, Ian Carmichael, the Judge, Carlton Hobbs, the Dowager Duchess, Charlotte Mitchell, Harriet Vane, Anne Bell, Attorney General, Stephen Thorne, Sir Impey Biggs, Robert Gillespie, Sir James Lubbock, Garrard Green, Freddie Arbuthnot, Christopher Schooler, Hannah Westlock, Christine Ozanne, foreman of the jury, Clifford Norgate. Old Bailey was adapted by Chris Miller from the book Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers. The programme was produced by Simon Brett. Lord Peter Wimsey. Starring Ian Carmichael as Lord Peter, with Ambrosine Philpotts as Miss Climpson, Anne Bell as Harriet Vane, and Gabriel Wolfe as Chief Inspector Parker. Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers, adapted in 6 episodes by Chris Miller. Episode 2, 10 Minutes in Bloomsbury. The trial of crime novelist Harriet Vane for the murder of her former lover Philip Boyes has ended with the jury failing to agree. The next afternoon, Lord Peter Wimsey, convinced of Miss Vane's innocence, goes round to see his colleague in detection, Miss Catherine Climpson, who, as it happens, was one of the members of the jury.
Well, it was me that caused the trouble mostly, I'm afraid, Lord Peter. I simply couldn't in conscience say she had done it when I was sure that she hadn't. Now, could I? Even when the evidence against her was so strong. But 2 of the others most bravely backed me up later.
Which 2 were they, Miss Climpson, if you don't mind my asking?
The stout, prosperous-looking woman and the artist with the beard.
Ah, yes, I'm not surprised about him. At least he understood the kind of life Miss Vane and Boyes had been living. The Bohemians of Bloomsbury, as the Attorney-General called them. But what made the stout party resist the weight of the evidence?
Well, first of all, she didn't think the case was proven. She maintained the poor man could have taken the arsenic himself, or his cousin could have given it to him. Then she said she thought Miss Vane might have done it, but she wouldn't really hang a dog on medical evidence. And then I think she was preparing to vote with the majority when she suddenly took an intense dislike to the foreman because he tried to bear her down by his male authority. So finally, she voted with me.
Splendid. Well, the important thing is, Miss Climpson, you've given us another chance. The retrial won't be for about a month, so we've got 4 weeks to come up with some fresh evidence. 4 weeks. Yes, that isn't much time, is it? I don't know where to begin.
More tea.
Thank you. The only thing to do, therefore, is to begin at the beginning. Why do people kill people?
I really don't know. It's so dangerous as well as so terribly wicked. One wonders that anybody has the effrontery to undertake it. And very often they gain so little by it.
That's what I mean. What do they set out to gain? Of course, some people seem to do it for the fun of the thing, like that German female, what's her name, who enjoyed seeing people die.
Oh, such a strange taste. You know, dear Lord Peter, it has been my melancholy duty to attend many deathbeds, and though a number of them, such as my dear father's, were most Christian and beautiful, I could not call them fun. Of course, people have very different ideas of fun, and personally I've never cared for George Robey, though Charlie Chaplin always makes me laugh. Still, you know, there are disagreeable details attending any deathbed, which one would think could hardly be to anyone's taste, however depraved.
I quite agree with you, but it must be fun in one sense to feel that you can control the issues of life and death, don't you know?
Don't say that, Lord Peter, even in jest.
Oh, righty-ho. Let's dismiss homicidal mania from our minds, then. What else do people kill for?
Well, there is passion, for I should not like to call it love when it's so unregulated.
That is the explanation put forward by the prosecution. The passion of hate that so often succeeds the passion of love at the end of an affair. I don't accept it, Miss Climpson. Not for Miss Vane.
Certainly not. But it might be possible, might it not, that there was some other unfortunate young woman who was attached to this Mr. Boyes and felt vindictively towards him?
Yes, or a man who was jealous. But the time is the difficulty.
But there are those 10 minutes unaccounted for, from when he left Miss Vane in Doughty Street till he hired the taxi in Guildford Street. Might he not have entered some public house for refreshment and there met an enemy?
By Jove, that's a possibility. But it's rather a coincidence, ain't it? Still, it's worth looking into. Let's go on to the next motive, and that is money. Ah, well, plenty of possibilities there. I'm feeling better already, Miss Climpson. Fitter and brighter in every way. Either I'm getting a line on the thing, or else it's your tea. That's a good stout-looking pot. Has it got any more in it?
Yes, indeed. My dear father used to say I was a great hand at getting the utmost out of a teapot. The secret is to fill up as you go and never emptied the pot completely.
Oh, thank you. Finally, then, inheritance. Had he anything to leave? Yes, well, not much, I should think. I met his publisher at the trial, and although Boys's books are selling very well now, succès de scandale, don't you know, it's pretty clear who's going to get the bulk of the profits. I shouldn't think there's much money in the family either. Still, you never know. Anything else?
We should not overlook the possibility of self-destruction, Lord Peter.
Suicide, yes. That is what I'm really rather inclined to believe in fact. Arsenic is tomfool stuff to commit suicide with, but it has been done. Only where is the bottle?
The bottle?
Well, if he took the stuff sometime in those 10 minutes between Doughty Street and Guildford Street, he must have been carrying it in something. It might be in a paper if he took the powdered form, though that would be awkward. But neither a bottle nor any paper was found on him, so he must have chucked it away. I do loathe suicides. They're so difficult to prove. Oh, well, faint heart never won so much as a scrap of paper, so we must work at it.
Certainly we must.
Will you reserve the best efforts of yourself and your staff, Miss Simpson? I may need you soon. Meanwhile, I'm going to prison.
Lord Peter, whatever do you mean?
The defence is getting me passed into Holloway as part of their outfit. Tomorrow morning, Miss Simpson, I meet the prisoner, face to face. Good morning, Miss Vane.
Good morning. Please, sit down. You're Lord Peter Wimsey, I believe, and have come from my solicitor.
Yes. Yes, I heard the case and all that, and I contacted Mr. Cross because I thought there might be something I could do, don't you know?
That was very good of you.
No, not at all, dash it. I mean to say I rather enjoy investigating things, if you know what I mean.
I know. Being a writer of detective stories, I've naturally studied your career with interest.
I say, have you? Well, that's rather a good thing in a way, because you'll understand that I'm not really such an ass as I'm looking at present.
You're not looking an ass. I'm really very grateful to you, though I'm afraid I'm rather a hopeless case.
Now, don't say that. It can't be hopeless unless you actually did it, and I know you didn't.
Well, I didn't, as a matter of fact.
Well, of course not. You don't happen to know who did, do you?
I believe Philip took the stuff himself. He always wanted to be a victim, and in the end he succeeded. He was rather a defeatist sort of person, you know. He thought people were in league to spoil his chances, so when I walked out, he took it particularly hard.
Forgive my asking, but you were very fond of him?
I must have been, mustn't I, to have consented to live with him?
Well, not necessarily. You might have been sorry for him, or bewitched by him, or even badgered to death by him.
All those things.
Were you friends?
No. Philip wasn't the sort of man to make a friend of a woman. He wanted devotion. That was why he put me on probation, like an office boy, to see whether my devotion was abject enough. And when he thought it was, he condescended to say he'd marry me. Oh, I didn't like having matrimony offered as a bad conduct prize.
I don't blame you. It sounds to me as if the fellow's a prig, not to say a bit of a cad.
It was humiliating. The minute I saw that, well, the whole thing simply shut down. Flop.
Yes, I can quite see that. Well, I'm glad you feel like that about it.
Why?
Well, simply that when all this is over, I want to marry you. If you can put up with me and all that.
Oh. Are you another of them? That makes 47.
47 what?
Proposals. They come in by every post. I suppose there are a lot of imbeciles who want to marry anybody who's at all notorious.
Oh, dear me, that makes it very awkward. As a matter of fact, you know, I don't need any notoriety. It's no treat to me. Perhaps I'd better not mention it again.
I'm sorry, but one gets rather a bruised sort of feeling in my position. There have been so many beastlinesses.
I know. Yes, it was stupid of me.
No, I think it was stupid of me. But why?
Why? Well, I thought you'd be rather an attractive person to marry, that's all. I mean, I sort of took a fancy to you. I can't tell you why. There's no rule about it, you know.
I see. Well, it's very nice of you. What would your noble family think about it?
Oh, my mother's the only one that counts, and she likes you very much from what she's seen of you.
So you had me inspected?
No, Oh, dash it all, I seem to be saying all the wrong things today. I was absolutely stunned that first day in court, and I rushed off to my mater, who's an absolute dear and the kind of person who really understands things, and I said, look here. Here is the absolutely one and only woman, and she's been put through a simply ghastly, awful business, and for God's sake, come and hold my hand. You simply don't know how foul it was.
That does sound rather rotten. I'm sorry I was brutal. You are bearing in mind that I've had a lover, aren't you?
Oh, yes. So have I, if it comes to that. In fact, several. It's the sort of thing that might happen to anyone. I can produce quite good testimonials. I'm told I make love rather nicely. Only I am at a disadvantage at the moment. One can't be very convincing at the other end of a table with someone looking in at the door.
I'll take your word for it. But it seems very probable I shall not survive to make the experiment.
Now, don't be so damn discouraging. I have already carefully explained to you that this time I am investigating the business. Anyone would think that you had no confidence in me.
People have been wrongly condemned before now.
Exactly. Simply because I wasn't there. Oh, by the way, I don't positively repel you or anything like that, do I? Because if I do, I'll take my name off the waiting list at once.
No, you don't repel me.
Oh, I'm glad of that. Any minor alterations, like parting the old mane or growing a toothbrush or cashiering the eyeglass, I shall be happy to undertake if it suits your ideas.
Please, don't alter yourself in any particular.
You really mean that? Well, I suppose I ought to be going. You will think it over, won't you? If you have a moment to spare. Only don't hesitate to say if you think you couldn't stick it at any price. I'm not trying to blackmail you into matrimony, Well, cheer, frightfully ho and all that. I shall now proceed to Scotland Yard in order to undermine the confidence of my old friend Chief Inspector Parker. I'll call again, if I may.
I'll give the footman orders to admit you. You will always find me at home.
Come in, Peter. Come and sit down.
Charles Parker, you have made a mistake.
I beg your pardon?
The Vane case. You've come a mucker over it, you really have.
I don't think so. It was pretty straightforward, really.
Charles Acushla, distrust the straightforward case. Even the path of light is curved, or so they tell us. You have made a mistake.
Oh, come now. Just because the jury didn't agree...
Oh, for God's sake, man, do what you can to put the thing right before next exercises, or I'll never forgive you. Damn it, you don't want to hang the wrong person, do you? Especially a woman and all that.
Have a fag. You're looking quite wild about the eyes.
Thank you.
Oh. Do you really think we made a mistake?
Yes.
Oh, dear. Well, I'm sorry if we've got the wrong pig by the ear, but it's the defence's business to point out where we're wrong, and I can't say they put up a very convincing show.
No, confound him. Is that fool and beast of a solicitor, Crofts? Blast his ugly eyes. I know the brute thinks that she did it, and I hope he will fry in hell and be served up with cayenne pepper on a red-hot dish.
What eloquence. Anybody'd think you'd gone goopy over the girl.
Well, that's a damn friendly way to talk. When you went off the deep end about my sister, I may have been unsympathetic, I dare say I was, but I swear I didn't dance on your tenderest feelings and call your manly devotion going goopy over a girl.
Good Lord. You don't seriously mean that
Oh, no. I mean, I am not expected to be serious.
I'm sorry. Now, if it's like that, I'm damned sorry, old man. But what can I do?
Now you're talking. First of all, answer a straight question. Did Boys leave a will?
Yes. Well, he didn't own much except his copyrights, though. Originally left them to Miss Vane, but after they separated, he made a new will in favour of his friend Ryland Vaughan.
Thank you. Was he insured?
No.
Good. Now, look here. The most likely thing is that this unsavoury blighter Boys committed suicide. The unspeakable defence haven't been able to trace any arsenic to his possession, but then they probably couldn't trace a herd of black cattle over a snowbound field in broad noonday with a microscope. I want your people to take it up.
Boys, query, arsenic, huh? Anything else?
Yes. Find out what Boys did in those 10 minutes after he left Miss Vane's, particularly whether he visited any pub, if he met anybody, and what he took to drink.
What shall be done? Boys, query, pub.
Yes. Thirdly, find out if any bottle or paper that might have contained arsenic was picked up in that part of Bloomsbury.
Huh. indeed. Would you like me to trace the bus ticket dropped by Mrs. Brown outside Selfridge's in the last Christmas rush? And no use making it too easy.
Charles...
Boys, Doughty Street area, query bottle or paper. Yes?
That's all for the moment.
Oh, thanks for small mercies. Well, good luck, Peter. Funny for you and me to be on opposite sides, isn't it?
Very. I'm sorry about it, but it's your own fault.
Well, you shouldn't have been out of England. By the way, you realise that probably all our young friend did during those missing 10 minutes was to stand about in Tearballs Road or somewhere looking for a stray taxi?
Oh, shut up.
So you've reappeared?
Good Lord, yes. Surely you expected me to. I fancied I'd left that impression. I say I thought of a good plot for a detective story.
Really?
Top hole. However, business first. Do you happen to know whether Philip Boyes made a will?
Oh, yes, in my favour. He named me as his literary executor, too. Good heavens. Do you know, I'd quite forgotten about that. He must have altered it when we parted, mustn't he? Or I'd have heard about it.
You didn't know he altered it then? Before he died, I mean.
I never thought about it. Why?
Nothing. Only I'm rather glad the will wasn't brought up at the thingamabob.
Meaning the trial? You needn't be so delicate about mentioning it. You mean, if I'd thought I was still the heir, I might have murdered him for his money. It didn't amount to a hill of beans, you know. I was making 4 times as much as he was.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was only this silly plot that I got in mind. But it is rather silly, now I come to think of it.
Tell me.
Well, it's about a girl who writes novels, crime stories, in fact. And she has a friend who also writes. Neither of them bestsellers, you know, but just ordinary novelists. Anyway, the friend makes a will, leaving his money, receipts from books and so on, to the girl. And the girl, who has got rather fed up with him, you know, thinks of a grand scoop that will make both of them bestsellers. She polishes him off by the same method she has used in her latest thriller.
A daring stroke.
Yes. And, of course, his books immediately do become bestsellers, and she grabs the pool.
But don't you think it would be a little dangerous? She might even be suspected of the murder.
Then her books will become bestsellers, too.
Only possibly she wouldn't live to enjoy the profits.
That, of course, is the snag. But as an experienced mysterymonger, couldn't you think of a way round that?
Yes. There's somebody she wishes to benefit. Say, a father, mother, sister, lover, or cause that badly needs money. She makes a will in his, her, or its favour, and lets herself be hanged for the crime, knowing that the beloved object will then come in for the money. How's that?
Great. Only wait a minute. They wouldn't give other friends money, would they? You're not allowed to profit from a crime.
Oh, hang. Yes, that's true. No, look. If she made all her possessions over by deed of gift immediately after the murder, that would include the friend's money. It would then all go direct to the beloved object, and I don't believe the law could stop it.
See here, you are not safe. You're too clever by half. But I say it's a good plot, isn't it?
It's a winner. Shall we write it?
By Jove, let's.
Only, you know, I'm afraid we shan't get the chance.
You are not to say that. Of course we're going to write it. Damn it, what am I here for? To prove your innocence, that what?
And how are you progressing in that direction?
Slowly. But this evening I'm going to meet the one person who did benefit from Philip Boyce's will. Ryland Vaughan.
Good heavens. He's an obnoxious ass, but you don't think he killed Phil?
No, I'm still working on the suicide theory. I just want to know what Mr. Vaughan thinks.
Do you know him?
Not yet. But I have a friend who does, I'm quite certain. Keep smiling. It suits you.
Putting you through. Hello?
Hello, Marjorie.
Yes?
Marjorie, this is Peter Wimsey. How goes it?
Oh, fine, thanks. Glad to hear your melodious voice again. What can I do for the Lord High Investigator?
Do you know one Vaughan who's mixed up in the Philip Boyce murder mystery?
Oh, Peter, are you on to that? How gorgeous. Which side are you taking?
For the defence.
Hooray!
Why this pomp of jubilee?
Oh, well, it's much more exciting and difficult, isn't it?
Yes, well, I'm afraid it is. Do you know Miss Vane, by the way?
Certainly.
Like her?
Yes.
Like him? Boys, I mean.
Never stirred a heartbeat.
And what's Vaughan?
Oh, hanger-on, house dog. Nothing must interfere with the expansion of my friend the genius, that sort. Do you want to meet him?
If it's not too much trouble.
Well, turn up tonight with a taxi and we'll go and look for him. I expect we'll find him at the Kropotki's. There's usually a party there. They're Bolshevik and musical and their drinks are bad, but their Russian tea is safe.
Rightio. I'll roll round about 9 then.
Cheerio. Here's Peter. Peter, this is Nina Kropotki.
So pleased. Sit down.
Thank you.
Vanya will get you something to drink. Oh, this is beautiful, yes. That is Stanislav. Such a genius. His new tone poem on the Piccadilly tube station. Great, n'est-ce pas? 5 days he was continually travelling upon the escalator to absorb the tone values.
Colossal.
So, you think? Ah, you can appreciate. It is the soul of rebellion in the crowd. The clash, the revolt at the heart of the machinery. It gives the bourgeois something to think of. Oh, yes. Of course, you understand it is really for the big orchestra. On just piano and violin, it is nothing. It needs the brass, the effects, the timpani. Brrr, so... But one seizes the form, the outline. Ah, it finishes superb, magnificent. Let's have some tea. Tea.
Peter, come and talk to Ryland Vaughan. I've got him in a corner and told him you're a tremendous admirer of Philip Boyce's books. Have you read them?
Some of them, but I think I'm getting lightheaded.
Well, you'll feel worse in an hour or so. You'd better come now. Ryland, this is Lord Peter Wimsey. Peter Ryland Vaughan.
Hello.
Hello. Hell of a place, eh? Hell of a business altogether. I only come here because Philip used to come here. Habit, you know.
You knew him very well, of course.
Oh, I was his only real friend. All the rest only cared to pick his brains. Apes, parrots, all the bloody lot of them. They sucked the blood out of him. And his damned thieves of publishers took every blasted coin they could lay their hands on. And then that bitch of a woman poisoned him. My God, what a life!
Yes, but what made her do it? If she did do it.
Oh, she did it, all right. Sheer beastly spite and jealousy, that's all there was to it. Just because she couldn't write anything but tripe herself. You'd think it would have been enough for her to help and look after a genius like Phil, wouldn't you? Why, damn it, he used to ask her advice about his work. Her advice! My God!
Did he take it?
Take it? She wouldn't give it. Told him she never gave opinions on other authors' work. Other authors! The impudence of it! Oh, of course it was hopeless from the start for Philip to get entangled with that kind of a woman. Genius must be served, not argued with. But he was infatuated. And then to want to marry her.
Why did he?
Remains of parsonical upbringing, I suppose. It was really pitiful. Besides, that fellow Urquhart did a lot of mischief. You know him, the cousin.
No.
Well, he got hold of him about 2 years ago, asked him to dinner, that sort of thing. Put up to it by the family, I imagine. Well, the minute I saw him, I knew he was out to ruin Philip, body and soul. Oh, well. No use crying about it now. His work is left, and that's the best part of him. Oh, but when one thinks what might have been...
Tragic. By the way, you were with him all that last day till he went to his cousin's. You don't think he had anything on him in the way of poison or anything? I don't want to seem unkind, but he was unhappy. It would be rotten to think that...
No, that I'd swear he never did. He would have told me he trusted me in those last days. And besides, he wouldn't have chosen that way. Why should he? I could have given him hyoscine, veronal, all that sort of thing. He said once, if ever I want to go out, Ryland, you'll show me the way. And I would have, if he'd really wanted it. But arsenic? Philip, who loved beauty so much, do you think he'd have chosen arsenic, the suburban poisoner's outfit? That's absolutely impossible. Absolutely impossible.
I think he's right.
Do you? Why?
He doesn't fit in with the picture of the man I'm building up. He really had too high an opinion of himself, don't you know? I don't think he'd have willfully deprived the world of the privilege of reading his books. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being beastly sarcastic. I'm afraid I'm letting my emotions cloud my judgment. The fact is, I am most damnably jealous of the fellow. I oughtn't to be, but I am.
That's just it. And you always would be.
But look here, if you married me, I shouldn't be jealous, because then I should know you really like me and all that.
You think you wouldn't be, but you would.
Should I? Oh, surely not. It's just the same as if I married a widow. Are all second husbands jealous?
I don't know. But it's not quite the same. You'd never really trust me, and we would be wretched. You wouldn't give me a square deal. No man ever does.
Never?
Well, hardly ever.
Well, that would be rotten. Of course, if I turned out to be that sort of idiot, things would be pretty hopeless. I say, couldn't you manage to be a bit jealous of me in return? I wish you would, because it would prove you took a bit of interest in me. Shall I give you some details of my hideous past?
Please don't.
Why not?
I don't want to know about all the other people.
Don't you, by Jove? I think that's rather hopeful. I mean, if you just felt like a mother to me, you would be anxious to be helpful and understanding. I loathe being helped and understood. And after all, there was nothing in any of them. Except Barbara, of course.
Who was Barbara?
Oh, girl. I owe her quite a lot, really. When she married the other fellow, I took up sleuthing as a cure for wounded feelings, and it's really been great fun taking it all in all. I even took a special course in Aristotelian logic for her sake.
Good gracious.
For the pleasure of repeating Barbara Celeren Darii Ferio Baraliptum. Types of syllogism, don't you know?
Ah.
There was a kind of mysterious romantic lilt about the thing which was somehow expressive of passion. Many a moonlight night have I murmured it to the nightingales which haunt the gardens of St. John's. Though, of course, I was a Balliol man myself, but the buildings are adjacent.
If anybody ever marries you, it'll be for the pleasure of hearing you talk piffle.
A humiliating reason, but better than no reason at all.
I used to piffle rather well myself, but it's got knocked out of me. You know, I was really meant to be a cheerful person. All this gloom and suspicion isn't the real me. I've lost my nerve somehow.
No wonder, poor kid. But you'll get over it. Just keep on smiling and leave it to Uncle Peter. I admit the suicide in a Bloomsbury pub theory ain't looking so strong, but I'm now going to start investigating the cousin, the sleek Mr. Urquhart. I know the prosecution proved beyond cavil that everything boys ate at dinner that evening he ate too, but personally I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Yes?
A telephone message, my lord, from Scotland Yard.
Oh, thank you. Good heavens. Boys did go to a pub after all. Parker's found it. And he's on the track of a packet of white powder, too. Well, I'm dashed.
In that episode of Strong Poison, the parts were played as follows. Lord Peter Wimsey, Ian Carmichael, Miss Climpson, Ambrosine Philpotts, Harriet Vane, Anne Bell, Chief Inspector Parker, Gabriel Wolfe, Marjorie Phelps, Rosalind Adams, Ryland Vaughan, Christopher Bidmead, Nina Kropotki, Margaret Robertson. 10 Minutes in Bloomsbury was adapted by Chris Miller from the book Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers. The programme was produced by Simon Brett. Lord Peter Wimsey. Starring Ian Carmichael as Lord Peter and Peter Jones as Bunter, with Gabriel Wolfe as Chief Inspector Parker. Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers, adapted in 6 episodes by Chris Miller. Episode 3, Norman Urquhart. Lord Peter Wimsey has proposed marriage to Harriet Vane, who is in Holloway awaiting re-trial on a charge of poisoning her ex-lover, Philip Boys, with arsenic. In his attempts to establish Miss Vane's innocence, Wimsey has enlisted the help of his friend, Chief Inspector Parker, who's now come up with some evidence that suggests boys may have committed suicide.
Here's the lady you're anxious to meet, Peter. Mrs. Bullfinch. Allow me to introduce Lord Peter Wimsey.
Oh, pleased, I'm sure.
How do you do, Mrs. Bullfinch?
Mrs. Bullfinch, before her union with Mr. Bullfinch last August, was the life and soul of the saloon bar at the Nine Rings in Gray's Inn Road. Known to all for her charm and wit.
Oh, go on, you're a one, aren't you? Oh, don't you pay no attention to him, your lordship. You know what these police fellows are.
Bad dogs. But I don't need his testimonials. I can trust my own eyes and ears, Mrs. Bullfinch. And I can only say that if I had had the happiness to make your acquaintance before it was too late, it would have been my lifetime's ambition to wipe Mr. Bullfinch's eye.
Oh, you're every bit as bad as he is.
Worse. Now, Mrs. Bullfinch, if you wouldn't mind beginning at the beginning and telling his lordship your story.
Oh, about the young man and the white paper packet?
Precisely.
Why, of course. Well, my lord, before I was married, I was barmaid at the Nine Rings in Gray's Inn Road, as the Chief Inspector says. Miss Montague I was then. It's a better name than Bullfinch, and I was almost sorry to say goodbye to it, but there, a girl has to make a lot of sacrifices when she marries, and one more or less is nothing to signify. Well, as I was saying, I was working there up to my marriage, and I remember one evening in June. It wasn't far off the longest day, June the 20th, I think.
That's the evening we're interested in.
I think it was then. But as to the time of night, that I can tell you for sure, knowing how keen you techs always are on the hands of the clock. It was 10:05. I know, because a customer had just asked if the clock was right. Anyway, suddenly the door was pushed open, hurried like, and a young gentleman comes in, almost falls in, I might say, and he calls, "Give me a double brandy, quick!" And then he puts his hands across his waistcoat, like so.
I see. Go on, Mrs. Bullfinch.
Well, I mixed him a double with just a splash of soda, and he gulps it down and says, "That's better," and sits down. Presently, he asked me for a glass of water, and I fetched it to him, and he says, "Sorry if I've frightened you, but I've just had a bad shock and it must have gone to my inside. I'm subject to gastric trouble," he says, "and any worry or shock always affects my stomach."
That would have been his interview with Miss Vane, Charles. She said it was pretty acrimonious.
Just so. Now, then what happened, Mrs. Bullfinch?
Well, then he takes out this white paper packet with some powder in it, and he says, "Perhaps this will stop it," he says. And he drops the powder into the glass of water and stirs it up with a fountain pen and drinks it off.
Did it fizz or anything?
No, it was just a plain powder, and it took a bit of time to mix. He drank it off, and then he says, "Thanks very much. I'd better go home now in case it takes me again." And he raised his hat. Oh, he was quite the gentleman, and off he goes.
How much powder do you think he put in?
Oh, a good dollop. Near a dessert spoonful it must have been.
And what happened to the packet?
Ah, there you are. We just got the last customer out when I see something white on the seat. I picked it up and see it was the paper packet. Oh, just one of them chemist packets, you know, with the ends turned up and a label stuck across, but there wasn't any of the label left. Anyway, I was going to chuck it on the fire, and then I thought, no, the gentleman might come back for it. So I stuck it up on the shelf behind the bar and never thought about it again till your policeman came round about it yesterday.
We searched the place for it, but can't find it, of course. However, if we do, Mrs. Bullfinch, we may ask you to come in and identify it.
Well, you know where to find me, Chief Inspector.
Yes.
Anything else now?
No, thank you, Mrs. Bullfinch. Thank you very much for coming down here.
Oh, don't mention it. Goodbye, then, my lord.
Goodbye, Mrs. Bullfinch, and thank you. Whoopee! We will beat you yet, Mr. Chief Inspector Parker.
I hope you do, old man. If that packet's found and shown to have contained arsenic, nobody will be happier than I. But I don't think there's much chance of that, do you? And if the packet isn't found, well, Mrs. Bullfinch's evidence might persuade the jury to give Miss Vane the benefit of the doubt.
But it will hardly establish her innocence. You're quite right, Charles, and that won't do. I want to see Miss Vane absolutely cleared, and the blame, if there is any, fixed in the right quarter. And that means hard evidence.
Precisely. Well, if you do find out anything which really proves that we've been on the wrong track, you'll let us know, won't you? We don't want to make large and ignominious public mistakes.
If Philip Boyce did kill himself, why did he do it? That's the question we must answer. I don't believe it was because he was heartbroken after Miss Vane left him. I don't even believe his interview with her that evening had anything to do with it. He had something else on his mind. Money problems, perhaps. Norman Urquhart.
The cousin?
Yes. Boys lived in his house for some time, and they dined together on the night in question. If anything was troubling Boys, he might have mentioned it then.
That's true.
I think I'll go and see Mr. Urquhart at his office. He's a solicitor, isn't he?
Yes, in Bedford Row.
Yes, I'll pop along tomorrow, and at the same time I think I'll put a spy into his domestic establishment, just to pick up any gossip, don't you know. And I think I know the very man for the job. Bunter?
My lord?
Bunter, do you feel at your brightest and most truly fascinating? Does a livelier iris, winter weather notwithstanding, shine upon the burnished Bunter? Have you got that sort of conquering feeling, the Don Juan touch, so to speak?
My lord?
You have a good, upstanding, impressive figure, if I may say so. A bold and roving eye when off duty, a ready tongue, and I am persuaded you have a way with you. What more should any cook or parlour-maid want?
I am always happy to exert myself to the best of my capacity in your lordship's service.
I am aware of it, Bunter. Morning by morning, my coffee is brought, my bath is prepared, my razor laid out, my ties and socks sorted, and my bacon and eggs brought to me in a lordly dish. No matter. This time I demand a more perilous devotion. Perilous for us both, my Bunter. For if you were to be carried away, a helpless martyr to matrimony...
Who is the party, my lord?
There are two of them. Two ladies lived in a bower, Binnery, oh Binnery. They are part of the establishment at Mr. Norman Urquhart's house in Woburn Square. The parlour-maid is one Hannah Westlock, a woman in her 30s, I fancy, and not ill-favoured. The other is the cook, a fine woman, Bunter, on the mature side, but none the worse for that.
Certainly not, my lord. If I may say so, the woman of ripe years and queenly figure is frequently more susceptible to delicate attentions than the giddy and thoughtless young beauty.
True. Let us suppose, Bunter, that you were to be the bearer of a courteous missive to Mr. Urquhart. Could you, in the short space of time at your disposal, insinuate yourself, snake-like, as it were, into the bosom of the household?
If you desire it, my lord, I will insinuate myself to your lordship's satisfaction.
Noble fellow. In case of any action for breach of promise or any consequence of that description, the charges will, of course, be borne by the management.
I am obliged to your lordship. When would your lordship wish me to commence?
As soon as I've written a note to Mr. Urquhart, I will ring.
Very good, my lord.
Bunter, I have a sensation of being hovered over, and I don't like it. It is unusual, and it unnerves me. I implore you not to hover. Is the proposition distasteful, or do you want me to get a new hat? What is troubling your conscience?
I beg your lordship's pardon. It had occurred to my mind to ask your lordship, with every respect...
Oh, God, Bunter, don't break it gently. I can't bear it. Stab and end the creature to the heft. What is it?
I wish to ask, my lord, whether your lordship thought of making any changes in your establishment.
Changes, Bunter? When I have just eloquently expressed to you my undying attachment to the loved routine of coffee, bath, razor, socks, eggs and bacon and the old familiar faces? You are not giving me warning, are you?
No, indeed, my lord. I should be very sorry to leave your lordship's service, but I had thought it possible that if your lordship was about to contract new ties...
I knew it was something in the haberdashery department.
Your lordship misunderstands me. I referred to domestic ties, my lord.
Ah.
Sometimes, when a gentleman reorganises his household on a matrimonial basis, the lady may prefer to have a voice in the selection of the gentleman's personal attendant, in which case...
Bunter, may I ask where you have contracted these ideas?
I ventured to draw an inference, my lord.
This comes of training people to be detectives. Have I been nourishing a sleuth hound on my own hearthstone? May I ask if you've gone so far as to give a name to the lady?
Yes, my lord. A very agreeable lady, if I may say so, my lord.
It strikes you that way, does it? The circumstances, of course, are unusual.
Yes, my lord. I might perhaps make so bold as to call them romantic.
You may make so bold as to call them damnable, Bunter.
Yes, my lord.
You won't desert the ship?
Not on any account, my lord.
Then don't come frightening me again. My nerves are not what they were. Now then, there is the note. Take it round and do your best.
Very good, my lord.
Oh, and Bunter.
My lord?
It seems, Bunter, that I am being obvious. I have no wish to be anything of the kind. If you see me being obvious, will you drop me a hint?
Certainly, my lord.
Have another crumpet, do, Mr. Bunter. More tea won't be a moment.
Thank you, Miss Westlock. You were saying, Mrs. Pettican?
Oh, just what a dreadful, wicked woman she must have been, that Harriet Vane. A torturing of the poor soul in that long-winded way. Bashing on the head or the hasty use of a carving knife when roused, I can understand. But the horrors of slow poisoning is the work of a fiend in human form, in my opinion.
Fiend is the only word. I quite agree.
And the wickedness of it, Mr. Bunter, quite apart from the causing of a painful death to a fellow being. Why, it's only the mercy of Providence we weren't all brought under suspicion.
But you had no difficulty in proving that it hadn't happened in this house, surely? Miss Westlock gave her evidence so beautiful at the trial, I'm sure she made it clear as clear could be to the jury.
Well, I was never one to be shy. And then, what with going through it all so careful with the master, and then with the police, I knew what the questions would be and was prepared, as you might say.
I wonder you could speak so exactly to every little detail all that time ago.
Well, you see, Mr. Bunter, the very morning after Mr. Boys was took ill, Master comes down to us and he says, "I'm afraid Mr. Boys is very sick," he says. "He thinks he must have ate something as disagreed with him," he says, "and perhaps it might have been the chicken. So I want you and Cook," he says, "to run through with me everything we had for dinner last night to see if we can think what it could have been." "Well, sir," I said, "I don't see that Mr. Boys could have ate anything unwholesome here. For Cook and me had just the same, except the sweet omelette, sir, and we're as right as rain," I said.
And I said the same. Such a plain, simple dinner as it was, too. No oysters, no mussels, no anything of that sort, as it's well known. Shellfish is poison to some people's stomachs. But a good strengthening drop of soup, and a bit of nice turbot, and a casserole chicken with turnips and carrots done in the gravy, and a jam omelette. Now, what could be lighter and better?
Nothing, Mrs. Pettican. Mr. Boys made the omelette himself that night, didn't he? At the table.
He did, yes. And well I remember it. For Mr. Urquhart asked particular after the eggs. Was they new laid? And I reminded him they was some he brought in himself that afternoon from that shop on the corner of Lamb's Conduit Street, and that one of them was a little cracked. And he'd said, "We'll use that in the omelette tonight, Hannah." And I brought out a clean bowl from the kitchen and put them straight in, the cracked one and 3 more besides, and never touched them again till I brought them to table.
And both Mr. Boys and Mr. Urquhart partook of the omelette, of course.
Oh, yes, heartily.
And as for the chicken, Mr. Bunter, that was a little beauty. Oh, it seemed a shame to casserole it, but Mr. Urquhart's very partial to a casserole chicken. He says as there's more flavour to them that way, and I don't know but what is right.
Well, it's certain there was nothing unwholesome about that anyway, Mrs. Pettican, otherwise you and Miss Westlock could scarcely have escaped it.
No, indeed. We finished it every bit, except a little piece I gave to the cat.
There was a drop of soup left. Not much, just a wee drain. And Mr. Urquhart took that up to show to the doctor, and he tasted it and said it was very good.
And as for the burgundy, which was the only thing Mr. Boys had to himself like, Mr. Urquhart told me to cork it up tight and keep it. And just as well I did, because of course the police asked to see it when the time came.
It was very far-seeing of Mr. Urquhart to take such precautions when there wasn't any thought at the time, but that the poor man died naturally.
Yes. We put it down to him being a solicitor and knowing what ought to be done in case of sudden death. Very particular he was, too. Got me to put a bit of sticking plaster over the mouth of the bottle and write my initials on it so that it shouldn't be opened accidental.
How very fortunate. Many's the case his lordship has seen in which an innocent man has been brought near to the gallows for lack of a simple little precaution like that.
And when I think how near Mr. Urquhart was to being away from home at the time, the thought fair gives me palpitations. Called away he was to that tiresome old woman what's always a-dying and never dies. Why, he was up there again only last week.
Which old woman is that, Mrs. Pettican?
Why, his great-aunt, Mrs. Rayburn, up in Windle. Rich as sneezes she is, by all accounts, and no good to nobody, for she's quite childish, so they say. A wicked old woman she was, too, in her day. Queen Victoria wouldn't never allow her to act before the royal family. She knew too much about her goings-on.
An actress, was she?
Oh, yes, and a very beautiful one, they say, though I can't rightly recollect what her stage name was. Oh, it was a queer one, I know. Hyde Park or Southern Gardens or something like that. Anyway, her other relations, Mr. Boyce's side of the family, they wouldn't have nothing to do with her, despite the money. Only Mr. Urquhart, and I don't suppose he wouldn't neither, only he's her solicitor, and it's his duty to do so.
So I suppose he stands to gain something when she pegs out, eh?
That's as maybe. He's not a talker. But it stands to reason he wouldn't always be tearing off to Westmoreland for nothing. Though I couldn't care myself to put my hand to money that's wickedly come by. It would not bring a blessing with it, Mr. Bunter.
Oh, it's easy talking, my girl, when you ain't likely to be put in the way of temptation. There's skeletons in many a cupboard, if the truth were known.
Ah, I believe you. I've seen diamond necklaces and fur coats that should have been labelled wages of sin if deeds done in the dark were to be proclaimed upon the housetops, Mrs. Pettican.
Indeed, yes, Mr. Bunter. Well, Hannah, come along now. We must be getting on.
As you say, cook.
Then I shall take my leave, Mrs. Pettican. Thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, not at all, Mr. Bunter. I hope as you'll come again. The master makes no objections to respectable gentlemen visitors at tea time. Wednesday is my half day.
Mine's Friday. And every other Sunday. If you should be evangelical, Mr. Bunter, the Reverend Crawford in Judd Street is a beautiful preacher.
I shall look forward to that, Miss Westlock. Oh, incidentally, if Mr. Boyce was also a nephew of old Mrs. Rayburn's...
Yes?
Did he have any expectations from her?
Oh, well, I don't know. He might have done, Mr. Bunter. Had he lived...
Mr. Urquhart will see you in just a moment, my lord, if you care to take a seat.
Yeah, thank you.
I trust you will excuse me if I return to my work, my lord. We are short of staff at the moment, our young lady clerk having just left us to get married, so there isn't a moment to spare in the office.
Of course. Have you not tried getting temporary assistance?
Oh, it's not easy to find anyone, my lord. Some of the work is... confidential, and an atmosphere of permanence is desirable.
Lord Peter, I'm so sorry to have kept you. Won't you come in now?
Thank you, Mr. Urquhart.
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm interested in the Vane poisoning trial. Acting for the defence, don't you know? And I wondered if I could bother you with a few questions. I'm afraid I'm being a frightful nuisance and all that.
Not at all, Lord Peter. I'm only too delighted to help.
Yeah, thank you. Well, can you tell me then, had Mr. Boyce any sort of financial expectations? I had an idea there was a rich aunt somewhere.
Oh, no. Unless you're thinking of old Cremorne Garden. She's a great aunt on his mother's side, but she hasn't had anything to do with them for many years.
The celebrated Cremorne Garden, eh? Well, I'm dashed. I'd no idea she was still alive.
Yes, she lives in Windle in Westmoreland. I've just been up there to see her. She's been quite childish, poor old lady, for the last 5 years or so.
Poor old Cremorne Garden. She must be getting on now. Surely she can't last much longer.
As a matter of fact, we all thought she'd gone last week. Her heart is giving out. She's over 90, poor soul.
Has she any other relations besides you now?
No. Not that my going up there can do her any good, but I'm a man of business, too, so it's just as well I should be on the spot when anything happens.
Oh, quite. And being a man of business, of course, you know how she has left her money.
Well, yes, of course. Though I don't quite understand, if you'll forgive my saying so, what that has to do with the present problem.
Why, don't you see? It just occurred to me that Philip Boyes might have got himself into some kind of financial mess-up and have, well, taken the short way out of it. But if he had any expectations from Mrs. Raeburn, and she was so near to shuffling off this mortal thingamy, well, he'd have waited, what?
Oh, I see. You're trying to make out a case for suicide.
Uh-huh.
Well, I agree with you. It's the most hopeful defence for Miss Vane's friends to put up. And as far as that goes, I can support you. Inasmuch, that is, as Mrs. Raeburn did not leave Philip anything, and he knew it.
Knew it?
He asked me one day, and I was obliged to tell him that he hadn't the least chance of getting anything from her. The will had been made, and as she was by then childish, there was no possibility that it would ever be altered.
I see. Is it much, by the way?
Pretty fair. About 70 or 80,000.
Very sickening for him to think of all that good stuff going west and not getting a look in oneself. By the way, how about you? Don't you get anything? Oh, I beg your pardon. Fearfully inquisitive and all that. Deuced impertinent. It's a failing of mine. No, wash it out. I'm sorry.
There's no real reason why you shouldn't know, though one's professional instinct is to avoid disclosing one's client's affairs. As a matter of fact, I am the sole legatee.
Oh, interesting. So one great-nephew gets nothing, and the other scoops the pool, what?
Well, that was because... Well, since we've gone so far, I will tell you what the will actually says. Excuse me one moment. Mr. Pond, could you bring me in the deed box labelled Raeburn?
Yes, Mr. Urquhart.
I haven't got the will itself here, Lord Peter, but I have the draft. This is all rather irregular. But there are times when too much discretion is as bad as too little. Thank you, Mr. Pond. Now. Oh, dear. Doesn't seem to be... Oh, of course, how forgetful of me. I'm so sorry. It's in my safe at home. I got it out for reference last June and quite forgot to bring it back. However, the gist of it was...
Well, never mind. There's no hurry. If I called at your house tomorrow, perhaps I could see it then.
By all means, if you think it important.
Thank you, Mr. Urquhart. Then I'll call round at 9 o'clock, say. What is so dashed curious, Bunter, is that everybody is so remarkably helpful about this case. Particularly the sleek and fresh-faced Mr. Urquhart. They all cheerfully answer questions that one has no right to ask and burst into explanations in the most unnecessary manner. None of them seems to have anything to conceal.
If Mr. Boyes committed suicide, my lord, surely none of them have anything to conceal.
True, oh, Bunter. Well, I must patter along to Woburn Place and take a look at this jolly old will. Oh, by the way, there is a vacancy for a confidential female clerk at Mr. Urquhart's office. Could you ring Miss Climpson and ask her to send along one of her ladies? Just to pick up gossip, tell her. Oh, and not too much face powder, and skirts the regulation 4 inches below the knee. The last girl left to be married, and the head clerk's feeling anti-sex appeal.
Very good, my lord.
I'd better make quite clear the family connection of the Boyses and the Urquharts, Lord Peter, so that you will understand the will.
All right, here.
The common ancestor is old John Hubbard, a highly respectable banker at the beginning of the last century. He had 3 daughters, Jane, Mary, and Rosanna. The eldest, Jane, married a man called Henry Brown, who was a schoolmaster and quite repellently moral. They had 1 daughter, Julia, who eventually married the Reverend Arthur Boyes and was the mother of Philip Boyes. The second daughter, Mary, accepted the hand of one Josiah Urquhart, and they had a son, Charles, who entered a solicitor's office, did well, and finally became a partner in the firm. He was my father, and I'm his successor in the legal business.
All clear so far.
Good. Now, the third daughter, Rosanna, was made of different stuff. To the horror of her parents, she ran away from home and went on the stage. They erased her name from the family Bible. She determined to justify their worst suspicions. She became the spoilt darling of fashionable London, and under the stage name of Cremorne Garden went on from one disreputable triumph to another. Well, the long and short of it was that the eldest sister, Jane, would have nothing to do with the family black sheep. My grandparents were less straight-laced and were polite in a distant kind of way, and in consequence she eventually put her business into my father's hands. Well, the old lady never forgot or forgave anything. The very mention of the boy's Brown connection made her foam at the mouth. Hence, when she came to make her will... Well, see for yourself.
Yeah, thank you. March 14th, 1921. Oh, I see. Yes, here we are. All the rest of my property, whatsoever and wheresoever situated, I give to my great-nephew Norman Urquhart. And so on and so on. In token of gratitude shown to me by my said great-nephew Norman Urquhart and his father, the late Charles Urquhart, and to ensure that no part of my properties will come into the hands of my great-nephew Philip Boys or his descendants. And to this end, and to mark my sense of the inhuman treatment meted out to me by the family of the said Philip Boys, I enjoin upon the said Norman Urquhart as my dying wish that he neither give, lend, nor convey to the said Philip Boys any part of the income derived from the said property, etc., etc., etc. Oh, I see. Oh, that's pretty clear. And pretty vindictive. If Boys had been in any financial trouble, he couldn't even have expected help from you.
Unfortunately not. I should have been morally bound to refuse.
Quite. Well, thank you, Mr. Urquhart. I'm glad I've seen that, very glad. It makes the suicide theory a good deal more probable.
A letter, my lord.
Thank you, Bunter. Ah, it's from Miss Murchison.
My lord?
Miss Climpson's lady, the spy we've planted in Mr. Urquhart's office. Oh, interesting. She seems to think that Urquhart may have been involved with the Megatherium Trust before their big crash.
Indeed, my lord. Hardly the type of enterprise one would expect a respectable solicitor to be involved in.
Certainly not. I'll ask Freddie Arbuthnot to look into it. He understands stocks and... Good God.
My lord?
This letter was typed on a machine with a newly chipped P and an A slightly out of alignment.
Indeed, my lord.
And so was the will Urquhart showed me this morning.
My lord.
That will, Bunter, was supposed to have been typed 8 years ago.
In that episode of Strong Poison, the parts were played as follows. Lord Peter Wimsey, Ian Carmichael; Bunter, Peter Jones; Chief Inspector Parker, Gabriel Wolfe; Norman Urquhart, John Pullen; Hannah Westlock, Christine Ozanne; Mrs. Bullfinch, Francis Jeter; Pond, Peter Woodthorpe; Mrs. Pettican, Anne Jameson. Norman Urquhart was adapted by Chris Miller from the book Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers. The programme was produced by Simon Brett. Lord Peter Wimsey. Starring Ian Carmichael as Lord Peter, with Charlotte Mitchell as the Dowager Duchess and Gabriel Wolfe as Chief Inspector Parker. Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers, adapted in 6 episodes by Chris Miller. Episode 4, Miss Murchison. Lord Peter Wimsey is attempting to prove the innocence of Harriet Vane, who is awaiting retrial for the murder of her ex-lover, novelist Philip Boys. His investigations have, however, now been interrupted by Christmas, which he's spending, as usual, at Duke's Denver, with the family and various friends, including Mrs. Freak Dimsworthy, Captain Tommy Bates, and Miss Titterton.
And is it true, Lord Peter, dear, that you're defending this frightful poisoning woman?
I am endeavouring to secure Miss Vane's acquittal, Mrs. Dimsworthy. I would have thought it somewhat previous to refer to her
Peter,
as...
dear.
Yes, Mother?
Have another cup of tea.
Oh, right, her.
The Vane case, eh?
Well, I've no doubt she did it, Freaky. And I must say I don't blame her. Perfectly foul blighter, that boy's. Had his photograph on the dust cover of his book, you know. That's the sort of squit he was.
Ah, but he was a very fine writer, Tommy. His books are positively Gallic in their audacity and restraint.
I wouldn't have the muck in the house. I caught Hilda with that, and I said, now you send that book straight back to the library. I don't interfere, but one must draw the line somewhere.
How do you know what it was like, Tommy?
Why, James Douglas's article in the Express was good enough for me. The paragraphs he quoted were filthy. Positively filthy.
Well, it's a good thing we've all read them, then. Forewarned is forearmed, right?
Oh, yes, we owe a great debt of gratitude to the press, you know. So kind of them to pick out all the plums for us and save us the trouble of reading the books, don't you think? And such a joy for the poor dear people who can't afford 7 and 6pence or even a library subscription, though I'm sure that works out cheaply enough if one is a quick reader. Not that the cheap ones would take those books, for I asked my maid. She's such a superior girl, and so keen on improving her mind, which is more than I can say for most of my friends. But no doubt it is all due to free education for the people, and I suspect her, in my heart, of voting Labour. Though I never asked, because I don't think it's fair. No. And besides, if I did, I couldn't very well take any notice of it, could I?
I don't see why not, Duchess. Tommy, surely you're not suggesting that the Vane woman murdered Philip Boyes because of his books?
Yeah, because of her own, more likely. I think the whole thing's a publicity stunt gone wrong. Now, it'll be a case of hanging the goose that lays the golden eggs, what? Well, unless Wimsey can pull off one of his conjuring tricks, of course.
Oh, I do hope you do, Lord Peter.
So do I, Mr. Tutton. What's more, I really think I might. With the help of others, naturally.
Help? Oh, Peter has all these marvellous women to assist him, you know.
Women? What women, Duchess?
Women detectives. Only, of course, they're not real detectives, you know. Oh, no. They're not sleuths like Peter, that is, or policemen like Charles Parker, bless him. They're organised by a Miss Kimpson. She runs a typing bureau in West London, only it isn't a typing bureau at all, of course, although it has to take on occasional work to keep up appearances. But most of the time, you see, the females who work there are employed answering shady advertisements in the newspapers and chasing up blackmailers and white slavers and the most appalling scoundrels and bringing them to justice. It's so exciting.
Mother.
Yes, dear. Oh, I see, yes, of course. Yes, well, Peter's very reticent about them, you see, but they do so much good work. I'm sure he's very proud of them, really. They're all what are known as superfluous women. Such an unfair word. Quite cruel, really. But they're most certainly not superfluous anymore. What do you call your women, dear? What's the name you have for them?
Look, Mother, please.
Your cattery. That's it. It's his cattery. Meow. It's so amusing. Although, of course, one wouldn't be so indiscreet as to use the term in their presence.
Of course not. But do tell us, Lord Peter, what this Miss Vane is like. Have you talked to her?
I saw in the papers that she'd had hundreds of offers of marriage.
Out of one nose into the other. What?
You know, Tommy, there are times
Peter!
Yes, Mater.
I do wish, dear, you'd go and see what's happened to Gerald. Tell him his tea's getting cold.
Righto, Mother. But I won't be back for a while, if you don't mind. I want to have a chat with Freddie about the case. Stocks and shares angle, don't you know? He's an ass about everything else, but he does seem to understand them.
Very well, dear.
Oh, dash it. Never could play billiards. Off you go, Wimsey.
Thank you. What do you know about the Megatherium Trust, Freddie?
Megatherium? Well, it crashed 3 years ago. Lots of money lost on all sides. What's the Meg got to do with your murder hunt?
I don't know. Possibly nothing. But the most hopeful theory so far is that Philip Boyes committed suicide because of financial difficulties. He doesn't appear to have known much about money, so it's possible he relied on the advice of his cousin, Norman Urquhart.
Oh, the sleek family lawyer chappie.
Yes. Well, I've now got a spy in Mr. Urquhart's office. A Miss Murchison from my cattery, don't you know? And a very observant woman she is. She overheard a phone call last week and putting two and two together, she thinks it's likely Urquhart was involved with megatherium. No evidence, you understand, just suspicion.
So, do you think Boys could have tried his hand at a bit of speculating and lost a packet?
Well, if he did, it would explain a lot. He knew he wasn't going to get anything when his rich old great-aunt died because Urquhart's shown me a draft of her will and she cut him off without a penny. Though I may say that draft is not above suspicion itself, for reasons which I won't bore you with.
But, is there any evidence that he could have committed suicide, Peter? Did he have any arsenic?
I don't know. But he was seen in a Bloomsbury pub on the night in question, tipping a white powder into a glass of water. Chief Inspector Parker is meant to be looking for the packet now, but I'd like you to investigate the city end, if you would. Ask discreet questions about Urquhart and the megatherium and so forth, could you?
Oh, absolutely. Delighted to be of assistance and all that.
Ah, thanks. Talking of Parker, I suppose I'd better have a brotherly word with Mary when she arrives.
Mary? I say, Wimsey, what's she got to do with it?
Yeah. Yes, well, never you mind, Freddie. Never you mind. I say, Mary, do you say anything of old Parker these days?
I've had dinner with him once or twice when I was in town.
Have you? Oh, he's a very decent sort. Reliable, homespun, that sort of thing. Not amusing, exactly.
A little solid.
As you say, a little solid. I should hate anything upsetting to happen to Parker. He'd take it hard. I mean to say, it wouldn't be fair to muck about with his feelings and so on.
Worried, Peter?
No. But I'd rather like him to have fair play.
Well, I can't very well say yes or no until he asks me, can I?
Can't you?
Well, not to him. Would upset his ideas of decorum, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose it would. But it would probably upset them just as much if he did ask you. He would feel that the mere idea of hearing a butler announce Chief Detective Inspector and Lady Mary Parker would have something shocking about it.
It's stalemate, then, isn't it?
You could stop dining with him.
I could do that, of course.
And the mere fact that you don't... I see. Would it be any good if I demanded to know his intentions in the true Victorian manner?
Why this sudden thirst for getting your family off your hands, old man? Peter, nobody's being horrible to you, are they?
No. Oh, I'm just feeling rather like a benevolent uncle, that's all. Old age creeping on. That passion for being useful which attacks the best of us when we're getting past our prime.
Like me with the house decorating. Oh, I designed these pyjamas, by the way. Don't you think they're rather entertaining? I expect Chief Inspector Parker prefers the old-fashioned nightgown. Never mind, I shall be brave and devoted. Here and now I cast off my pyjamas
No, not here and now. Respect a brother's feelings. But you tell me what I want to know. I am to inform my friend Charles Parker that if he will abandon his natural modesty and propose, you will abandon your pyjams and say yes.
Yes. Thank you, Peter.
Bravo, Lord Peter. That was delightful.
Thank you, Miss Murchison. Now then, let's get down to business. I find Bach good for the brain, don't you? Steady and influence and all that.
I quite agree. Well, you asked me to find out about the typewriter in Mr. Urquhart's office.
Yes?
It was bought new 3 years ago.
Was it indeed? So Mr. Urquhart has got something to hide. Well, that's rather a blow to the boy's suicide theory.
I don't quite understand. What makes you think Mr. Urquhart has something to hide?
When I went to see him before Christmas, he offered, quite unnecessarily, to show me Mrs. Rayburn's will.
That's his great-aunt.
And Philip Boyce's great-aunt, too, yes. He asked for Mrs. Rayburn's deed box to be brought in and pretended to search for the will, but then remembered that he'd left it at home. He invited me to call round the next morning, which I did, and lo and behold, there was the draft of a will. The only snag is that it was typed on a machine which you say is 3 years old, and yet it was dated 8 years ago.
Oh, good gracious. Do you suspect he typed it out himself that night?
Well, it looks rather like that, certainly.
But why?
I don't know. Either Mrs. Rayburn never made a will at all, or if she did, it's not along the lines of the one he showed me. Miss Murchison?
Yes?
What are your feelings about doing something illegal?
In a good cause?
In a very good cause.
I imagine that if I'm taken up, you will pay any necessary costs.
Certainly.
And if I go to prison?
I don't think it'll come to that. There's a slight risk, I admit, that you might be brought up for attempted theft or for being in possession of safe-breaking tools, but that is the most that could happen.
Oh, well, why not? It's all in the game.
You mean that?
Yes.
Splendid. Then what I want you to do is break into Mrs. Rayburn's deed box and look for the real will.
Do you want me to steal it?
No. Just try to memorize the chief points in it, especially the names of the chief legatee or legatees and of the residuary legatee. I particularly want to know whether anything was left to Philip Boyes.
That seems quite straightforward, Lord Peter. Except for one thing. The deed boxes are all locked, and Mr. Urquhart carries the keys with him at all times.
Don't you know how to pick a lock?
Oh, not in the least, I'm afraid.
I often wonder what we go to school for. We never seem to learn anything really useful. Well, I suppose I'd better take you to an expert for some rather intensive training. Should you mind putting your coat on and coming round with me to see a friend? Oh dear, we seem to have struck a meeting. Oh well, it can't be helped. Let's go in and wait. That's our man, Miss Murchison.
The one with the face like a bulldog?
Yes.
Good Lord. Has he a name?
Now you mention it, I believe he has, but he's never called by it. It's Rum.
Oh, not very, perhaps, if he gives lessons in lock-picking.
I mean his name's Rum.
Oh, what is it?
Dash it, I mean Rum is his name.
Oh, dear. Oh, I beg your pardon.
But he doesn't care to use it now that he's a total abstainer.
Then what does one call him?
Well, I call him Bill, but when he was at the head of his profession, they called him Blindfold Bill. In his day, he was the most accomplished burglar and safe-breaker in 3 kingdoms. I found him on my premises one night and struck up a sort of alliance with him. Took lessons from him and all that. He was a bit shy at first, but he got converted by another friend of mine, and the long and the short of it was, he gave himself up, took his medicine, and is now a very honest and excellent locksmith of the ordinary kind. Oh, hello, he spotted us.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, welcome one and welcome all. Believe me, here is a dear brother and sister in the Lord, as is come out of the haunts of the rich and the riotous living of the West End, to join us with singing the songs of Zion. Let us sing and give praise. Hallelujah. We know that many shall come from the east and from the west, and sit down at the Lord's feast, while many that think themselves chosen shall be cast into outer darkness. Therefore, let us not say, because this man wears a shiny eyeglass, that he is not a chosen vessel, or because this woman wears a diamond necklace and rides in a Rolls Royce, she will not therefore wear a white robe and a gold crown in the New Jerusalem. Let us unite now in thanksgiving for heaven's mercies in hymn number 102. And Lord Peter, sir, I'll be with you in a moment. What a friend we have indeed.
Well, Bill, as you see, I brought you a new pupil.
Good afternoon, Bill.
How do, miss? Always happy to serve you, sir, knowing as it's the Lord's work. Glory be.
That's right. Now, Bill, I've got my eye on a solicitor's deed box.
Ooh.
This lady can get access to it if you can show her the way inside it.
Course I can. There ain't a deed box in this here city what I couldn't open blindfold in boxing gloves and a stick of boiled macaroni.
I know, Bill, but it ain't you that's got to do it. Can you teach the lady how to work it?
Sure I can. What kind of lock is it, lady?
Oh, I don't know. An ordinary lock, I think. I mean, it has the usual sort of a key, not a Brahma or anything like that.
Then half an hour will teach you all you want, miss. Now, let's see now. Glory, glory, glory. Ah, here we are.
Oh, are those picklocks?
That's what they are, miss. Engines of Satan. Well, miss, the first thing is to understand the construction of the lock.
Oh, yes.
Now, just you look here. You hose up the spring, like so.
Yes.
And then you can thrust the catch back easy.
Oh.
Just you try that.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
So...
Very good, miss, very good. Now, the difficulty is, of course, that when the lock's in place, you can't use your eyes.
Oh, no.
No. But you has your hearing, and you has the feeling in your fingers given you by Providence Praise his name for that purpose. So, what you has to do, miss, is to shut your eyes and see with your fingers like when you've got your spring hooked back sufficient to let the catch go past, like so.
Oh.
Have a go.
Oh, like this.
There's a bit more, a bit more.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, there. Oh, well done, miss. Lord Peter, sir, I'll tell you something. We got a real cracksman in the making here, sir. A real cracksman.
So you managed to break into the box. Well done, Miss Murchison. Now calm down and tell me everything that happened from the beginning.
Oh, yes, Lord Peter. I'm so sorry. I'm rather excited. Well, I decided that the best time to attempt the job was after work, as there's always someone else in the office at lunchtime. So what I did was type out the first page of a very long affidavit incorrectly. That is, leaving out an important paragraph. Mr. Urquhart noticed it at once and was very cross, because it had to go round to another solicitor's before 10 the next morning. So I offered to stay on and retype it.
Having already done so, of course.
Quite so. I then waited until I was sure both Mr. Urquhart and Mr. Pond were safely on the tube, and then I got to work. Incidentally, the Raeburn box has been moved, I'm sure, in the last day or so, and was on a top shelf underneath 4 others.
How tiresome.
Extremely, because I had to stand on my chair to get it down. And I was in the process of doing this when I heard someone at the door.
Are you looking for something, Miss Murchison?
Oh, Mr. Pond. Oh, how you startled me. I thought you'd gone.
I presumed you had, too. I have merely returned to collect a little parcel I forgot. What is your business here at this time of night?
Oh, I had some extra typing to do. Left out a barely paragraph on page 1. It would be page 1, of course. And he wants the type round at Hanson's by 10 o'clock.
Yes. Those machines make you careless. Ah, well, I must hurry along. Good night again, Miss Murchison.
Good night.
Oh, by the way, were you looking for something?
Oh, yes. I was looking for a mouse. I was just sitting working when I saw it run along the top of the cupboard and up into the wall behind those boxes.
Dirty little beasts. The place is overrun with them. I've often said we ought to have a cat here. No hope of catching it now, though. You're not afraid of mice, apparently.
Oh, no. In your day, I suppose all women were afraid of mice.
Yes, they were. But then, of course, their garments were longer.
Oh, rotten for them.
They were very graceful in appearance. And now, Miss Murchison, I beg you to step down from that chair and allow me to assist you in replacing those boxes.
Oh, there's no need, Mr. Pond.
Yes, there is, Miss Murchison.
I hope the whole operation wasn't plagued with interruptions like that, Miss Murchison.
Fortunately not. But I was worried that Mrs. Hodges, the cleaning lady, would shortly be in, so I had to be quick. I got the box down and then slipped into Mr. Urquhart's private office, where I couldn't be observed through the window. Oh, by this time my hands were cold and shaking, and I was not in the best condition to profit by Bill's instructions. So I took a few deep breaths and resolved not to hurry myself. I took one of Bill's keys, I slipped it into the lock, I turned it, I twiddled it. For years, it seemed, I was scratching about aimlessly. Suddenly I felt the spring press against the hooked end. I felt the lever move, and then, click, the lock was open.
And inside the box?
Not a great many papers. No will. Not even a copy of a will. Two things only I thought interesting. One was a power of attorney dated January 1925, giving Mr. Urquhart full powers to act for Mrs. Rayburn.
Interesting. And the other?
A deed of trust, making over the whole of her property to him, in trust for herself, and providing that he should pay her personal expenses every year.
Very interesting. What was the date of that one?
July 1920. And there was a letter attached to it, a letter from Rosanna Rayburn to Norman Urquhart, in his capacity as her solicitor. And in it, she says that next time he comes to see her, she will give him instructions about her will.
So there is a will. I wonder where it is.
Come in. Peter, come in. You come about Philip Boy's packet of powder?
Not this time. I don't suppose you'll hear anything more of that. I don't think it's suicide anyway, after all. No, old Parker Bird, it's, well, it's a rather more delicate matter. It's about my sister.
About Lady Mary?
Yes. Yes, I understand she's been going about with you, dining and all that sort of thing, what?
Well, Lady Mary's honoured me on one or two occasions with her company. I didn't think she... I didn't know... I understood it was perfect.
But did you understand? That's the point. You see, Mary's a very nice-minded sort of girl, though I say...
I assure you there's no need to tell me that. Do you suppose I should misinterpret her kindness? It's the custom nowadays for women of the highest character to dine unchaperoned with their friends, and Lady Mary's...
Look, I'm not suggesting a chaperone. Mary wouldn't stick it for one thing, and I think it's all bosh anyhow. Still, being her brother and all that, I suppose that it is my, so to speak, duty to push round and drop the helpful word here and there.
I see. Well, I suppose I ought not to have presumed to...
What did you presume, I think?
Nothing to which anybody could object. What are you thinking of, Wimsey? If you imagine I have ever said a word to her that couldn't be said with the greatest propriety...
In the presence of her mother, you wrong the purest and sweetest woman that ever lived and insult your friend. What a perfect Victorian you are, Charles. I should like to keep you in a glass case. Of course you haven't said a word. What I want to know is why.
What?
For the last 5 years or so, you have been looking like a demented sheep at my sister and starting like a rabbit whenever her name's mentioned. What do you mean by it? A man doesn't like to see a man go all wobbly about his sister. At least not with such a prolonged wobble. It's unsightly, it's irritating. Why not slap the manly thorax and say, Peter, my dear old mangle wurzel, I have decided to dig myself into the old family trench and be a brother to you. What's stopping you? Is it Gerald? He's an ass, I know, but he's not a bad old stick, really. Is it Helen? She's a bit of a wart, but you needn't see much of her. Or is it me? Now, come on, cough up the difficulty, old thing, and we'll have it removed from a plain van. Now then.
Are you asking me?
I am asking your intentions, damn it. And if that's not Victorian enough, I don't know what is.
But, look here, Peter, don't be a damn fool. How can I ask your sister to marry me?
Well, how you do it is your affair. You might say, what about a spot of matrimony, old dear? That's up to date and plain and unmistakable. Or you could go down on one knee and say, will you honour me with your hand and heart, which is pretty and old-fashioned and has the merit of originality in these times. Or you could write, or wire, or telephone. But I leave that to your own individual fancy.
You're not serious.
Oh, God, shall I ever live down this disastrous reputation for tomfoolery? You are making Mary damned unhappy, Charles, and I wish you'd marry her and have done with it.
Making her unhappy? Me? Her Unhappy?
God knows what you have between your ears. Wood, solid wood. But the last blow seems to have penetrated. Yes, you, her, unhappy. Do you get it now?
Peter, if you really thought I could stand...
Don't go off the deep end. It's wasted on me. You keep it from Mary. I've done my brotherly duty, and there's an end of it. Now calm yourself and return to your reports.
Oh, Lord, yes. Yes, before we go any further, I have got a report for you.
You have?
Yes.
Well, why didn't you say so at first?
You wouldn't let me.
Well, what is it?
We found the packet.
What?
We found the packet.
Actually found it?
Yes. One of the barmen...
Never mind the barman. You're sure it's the right packet?
Yes, we've identified it.
Well, get on. Have you analysed it?
They're doing that now.
Great Scott. And I'd virtually given up the suicide theory. Oh, and now I'll have to resurrect it.
Why on earth did you give it up?
Because of Norman Urquhart's activities. Oh, I know it's been shown in court that he couldn't have poisoned boys, but his behaviour has been dash suspicious. He's been so desperate to conceal Rosanna Rayburn's will, he actually faked a substitute to show me. Now, why? If boys committed suicide, what has he got to hide? Oh, good God. Of course.
Of course what?
Well, he didn't fake it for me. He faked it for boys.
No, I don't understand.
Look, listen. Rosanna Rayburn leaves her money to split between her two great nephews.
Yeah?
Urquhart knows this, and knowing Boyce's defeatist temperament encourages him to speculate in the Megatherium Trust. Megatherium crashes. Boyce, heavily in debt, comes to Urquhart. Asks if he has any expectations from the old lady. Urquhart whips out fate will that shows he hasn't. Boyce, in despair, goes to Bloomsbury pub and takes fatal dose of arsenic. Urquhart collects both shares of Aunt Rosanna's fortune. Q.E.D.
Yes? Oh, yeah. I see. Thank you. They've analysed the contents of the packet.
And was it arsenic?
Bicarbonate of soda.
In that episode of Strong Poison, the parts were played as follows. Lord Peter Wimsey, Ian Carmichael, Dowager Duchess, Charlotte Mitchell, Chief Inspector Parker, Gabriel Wolfe, Miss Murchison, Betty Huntley Wright, Lady Mary Wimsey, Maria Aitken, Freddie Arbuthnot, Christopher Schooler, Mrs. Freak Dimsworthy, Margaret Guess, Bill Rum, Captain Tommy Bates and Pond, Peter Woodthorpe. Miss Murchison was adapted by Chris Miller from the book Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers. The programme was produced by Simon Brett. Lord Peter Wimsey. Starring Ian Carmichael as Lord Peter, with Ambrosine Philpotts as Miss Climson and Joan Hickson as Nurse Booth. Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers, adapted in 6 episodes by Chris Miller. Episode 5, Pongo. Lord Peter Wimsey is attempting to prove the innocence of Harriet Vane, who is awaiting retrial for the murder of her ex-lover, Philip Boyce. Suspecting that Norman Urquhart, Boyce's cousin, is deceiving him about the will made by Rosanna Rayburn, the great-aunt of both men, he decides to enlist the services of a colleague to investigate further.
I have a job, Miss Climson, which I should like you to undertake yourself. I can't trust anybody else.
How kind of you to put it like that, Lord Peter.
The trouble is, I can't in the least tell you how to set about it. It all depends on what you find when you get there. I want you to go to Windle in Westmoreland and get hold of an imbecile and paralysed old lady called Mrs. Rayburn, who lives at a house called Applefold. I don't know who looks after her or how you're to get into the house, but you've got to do it, and you have got to find out where her will is kept and, if possible, see it.
Dear me.
And what's worse, you've only got about a week to do it in.
That's a very short time.
Yes, but unless we can give some very good reason for delay, they're bound to take the Vane case almost first thing next sessions. And if I could persuade the lawyers for the defence that there is the least chance of securing fresh evidence, they could apply for a postponement. Freddie Arbuthnot is asking round the city about certain speculations of Urquhart's, and I hope he'll come up with something definite. But until then, I really have nothing that could be called evidence at all. Only the vaguest possible hunch.
I see. Well, you may count on me to do my poor best, Lord Peter. I will ask the dear vicar to say a mass of special intention for one engaged in a difficult undertaking. When would you like me to start?
At once. Draw on the firm for any money you want, and if you need any special outfit, send me a wire.
Thank you, Lord Peter. As usual, you think of everything.
Well, Freddie, here's luck.
Cheerio.
Well, has anything transpired, as the journalists say?
I've been sleuthing like stink on the tracks of your man, Wimsey. Really, don't you know, I saw a man yesterday who knows a fellow who had it from a chappie that said Urquhart had been dipping himself a bit recklessly off the deep end.
In the Megatherium Trust?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Well, not to say sure, but this man, you see, owes me one, so to speak, for having warned him off the Megatherium before the band began to play. And he thinks if he can get hold of the chappie that knows, well, not the fellow that told him, you understand, but the other one, that he might be able to get something out of him, don't you see? Especially if I was able to put this other chappie in the way of something or other, what?
And no doubt you have secrets to sell,
Oh, well, I dare say I could make it worth this other chappie's while.
Well, push it along, old chap. The sooner we have something definite on Urquhart, the better.
Righto. I'll let you know the very second I hear anything.
Peggy.
You seem to be a bit down in the dumps, old man.
Oh, it's this damned enforced idleness, Freddie. There's nothing I can do at present except wait. Miss Climpson is the one who's living in what she would no doubt call a whirl of activity.
Miss Climpson?
Yes, I sent her up to Westmoreland the day before yesterday to steal Mrs. Raven's will.
Good heavens! We don't mean it, Wimsey.
I do mean it.
But how's she going to do that?
Quite straightforward. If I know Miss Climpson, she'll start by gossiping wildly with the women in her boarding house, and in the process digging out everything there is to know about Mrs. Raven's nurse, down to an accurate physical description. She will then sally forth into the marketplace, as it were, and take coffee or tea at every tea shop in the town until this person appears. And then, probably by employing some mild subterfuge, she will engage the female in conversation.
Is that all?
For Miss Climpson, Freddie, that is enough.
Excuse me. Yes, I think this little parcel must be yours. I picked it up just now in the doorway, and I've asked all the other people in the cafe.
No, it isn't mine. Oh, so kind of you, but I have all my parcels here.
How very odd. I was sure someone must have dropped it coming in here. I wonder what I'd better do with it.
You could hand it to the cashier, in case the owner came here to claim it.
Well, now, so I could. Oh, how clever of you to think of it. You suppose me very foolish, but the idea never occurred to me. I'm not a very practical person, I'm afraid. I should never do to take up your profession, should I? Though I've always loved the idea of wearing a uniform, any little emergency leaves me quite bewildered.
It's largely a question of training. And of self-training, too, of course. Won't you sit down?
Oh, thank you.
All these little weaknesses can be cured by placing the mind under a higher control. Don't you believe that?
Yes, I suppose that's true.
It's such a mistake to imagine that anything in the mental sphere is large or small. Our least thoughts and actions are equally directed by the higher centres of spiritual power, if we can bring ourselves to believe it. Well, this book I'm reading, Can the Dead Speak, is quite insistent on that point.
Oh, are you a student of spiritualism?
Oh, I am indeed. Yes, under the guidance of dear Mrs. Craig, who is such a wonderful teacher to me.
How interesting. But isn't it a wee bit dangerous? I've been told I'm sensitive myself, but I have never dared to try. Is it wise to open one's mind to those supernatural influences?
It's not dangerous if you know the right way. Oh, I've had the most marvellous talks with the dear ones who passed over.
Really? How interesting.
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not mediumistic myself. Well, not yet, that is. I can't get anything when I'm alone. But Mrs. Craig says that I'm wonderfully sympathetic. We get the most wonderful results when we sit together.
I'm sure you do. This Mrs. Craig...
Oh, you'd like her. I'm quite certain of that. Unfortunately, she's abroad just now.
Is she indeed?
Yes. Yes, I quite miss our little sessions. I wonder... You yourself are a medium, you say?
I've been told so, yes.
Oh, I wonder whether... If we sat together...
Oh, well... Oh, I don't really like to.
Oh, do. You're such a sympathetic person. I'm sure we should get good results. And the spirits are so pathetically anxious to communicate. Of course, I wouldn't like to try unless I was sure of the person. There are so many fraudulent mediums about.
There certainly are.
Come up and see me this evening. Oh, now do. We'll have supper together, and then we'll just have one quiet sitting to see whether you really are a medium. Oh, I've no doubt you are.
Very well. Thank you. What is your name, by the way?
Caroline Booth, Miss Caroline Booth. I nurse to an old paralysed lady in the big house along the Kendall Road.
Oh, my name is Clemson. I'm staying at Hillside View. Now, do tell me, how do I get to you? My dear Lord Peter, I'm sure you're wondering what has happened to me, but at last I have news. I have stormed the citadel. After 2 weary days, I finally spotted Mrs. Rayburn's nurse companion this morning in the Oriental Cafe, and succeeded in cornering her there. She proved to be remarkably easy to engage in conversation, a fact I attributed to the somewhat solitary life she must be forced to lead in the old lady's household. And it was not long before she had divulged to me that her great interest in life was spiritualism. My dear Lord Peter, I cannot deny that, when she revealed this, I saw in a single moment of illumination a whole plan complete and perfect in every detail. As a result, tonight Miss Booth and I shall sit together at a séance. Fortunately, years ago, at a most pleasant private little hotel in Bournemouth, I encountered a quaint little man from the Psychical Research Society who instructed me, strictly for amusement, of course, in many of the tricks used by dishonest mediums. Accordingly, this afternoon, I have purchased a metal soapbox which makes a hearty cracking noise when attached to one knee and pressed by the other, and some stiff black bound wire which will be perfect when strapped to the wrist for rocking the table. As to the rest of the plan, I will leave it, dear Lord Peter, to your imagination. All I must pray for now is that Miss Booth will leave me alone in her room for long enough for me to glean some useful information about her and her family from photographs and similar mementos. Once I have gained her complete trust, I hope for great things. In haste, yours sincerely, Catherine A. Clemson. Ah, photographs. My dearest Caroline, from her ever-loving Harry. Not a brother, I fancy. Photographer's address? Coventry. Now, what happened to Harry? Not matrimony, obviously. Death, perhaps? First-class frame and central position, bunch of hothouse narcissi in a vase? Yes, I think Harry has passed over. Most satisfactory. Oh! There you are.
So sorry to keep you waiting, but the poor old dear's rather restless this evening.
Have you given her her supper?
Yes, she'll do now for a couple of hours, but I shall have to go up again later. Oh, poor thing. It'll be a happy day for her when she passes over. Now, shall we begin at once? I'm so eager to try.
Very well.
Well, we usually use this little bamboo table here.
Oh, that looks very suitable. Do we sit in the light?
Oh, no, not in full light. Mrs. Craig explained to me that the blue rays of daylight or electricity are too hard for the spirits. They shatter the vibrations, you see. So we usually put out the light and sit in the firelight, which is quite bright enough for taking down notes. Now, will you write down or shall I?
Oh, I think you'd better, as you're more accustomed to it.
Very well. That's not too dark, is it?
Oh, no, not at all.
Now, which side will you sit?
Oh, this will do for me.
You don't mind the fire on your back?
Not in the least.
Now, we'll just sit down, place our thumbs and fingers on the table near the edge. And at first, I think it's better not to talk till a rapport is established, you know.
So we just wait?
Yes, we just wait. I think I felt something then.
Yes. I've got a feeling like pins and needles in my fingers.
So have I. We shall get something soon.
Oh, yes. I feel as though something is gripping the back of my neck.
So do I. I'm tingling from head to foot. Oh, it moved.
Did it?
Yes, didn't you feel it? Oh, there it goes again. And again. I say, you're a wonderfully strong medium.
Am I really? Oh, how exciting. Shall we speak to it?
Oh, yes, let's not waste any more time. Is there a spirit there? Will you give 1 knock for yes and 2 for no? Oh, how thrilling. Are you Fedora? Are you one of the spirits who have visited me before? Are you anxious to help us personally? Are you speaking on behalf of another spirit? Does he want to speak to my friend? Oh, to me then. Is it? Oh, is it the spirit I've been trying to communicate with? Oh, will you speak to us by means of the alphabet? 1 knock for A and 2 for B and so on. What is your name? C, D, E, F, G, H, A. Oh, Harry. Oh, at last. Oh, how are you? Are you happy? No. Oh, Harry, it wasn't my fault. I had my duty to think of. Oh, love ought to come first, I know that now, but, well, I was only a girl then. Won't you forgive me? Oh, I'm so glad. Have you any special message for me, Harry? C O Coventry. Go to Coventry. Oh, it really is you, Harry. You haven't forgotten that dear old joke. Oh, Harry. What do you want? Oh, dear. Oh, dear, what's happening? Must be somebody else interrupting. Oh, go away, go away. Who's here now? Are you still there, Harry? Who is that? P O N P O N G
N-G-O. Pongo. Pongo, who are you? C. Are you our control? Has Harry gone? Oh. Do you want us to stop? Very well. Oh, you're tired, I expect. Well, can we talk to you another time? Good. Well, good night then, Pongo. And thank you. Oh.
Well, Freddie, anything to report about Urquhart?
Oh, rather, yes. Definite confirmation, all that. He was involved in the megatherium when it crashed, no doubt about it. And he was in pretty deeply, too. He must have lost a lot of money.
Good, that's very satisfactory. So we can tentatively assume he killed Philip Boys in order to get his share of their great-aunt's fortune, too, huh?
Ah. Can we?
I fancy so. Subject to ratification by Miss Climpson, of course.
Oh, yes. How's the old gal doing with her seances?
Splendidly. I had another letter this morning. The poor old nurse trusts her implicitly now, and she feels utterly beastly about deceiving her. But she hasn't given up, praise be. They moved on to the Ouija board last time. The poor old Pongo was rather awkward about it, I'm afraid. Said it was because he'd never learnt to write whilst on Earth.
Pongo?
Their control. He was an Italian acrobat of the Renaissance period, and his full name was Pongocelli. Apparently he lived a sadly irregular life, but redeemed himself by heroically refusing to abandon a sick child during the time of the Great Plague in Florence. He caught the plague and died of it, and is now working out the period of probation for his sins by serving as a guide and interpreter to other spirits. Touching little story, what?
Absolutely.
Yes. Miss Kimpson said she was rather proud of it, too.
Oh, good evening. Is that Pongo? Good evening, Pongo. We are very glad to have you with us. Will you talk to us again by means of the Ouija board? The pencil is sharp this time. Oh, good. Are you ready, dear? Quite ready, thank you. Well, then let's begin. Pongo, have you any special message for us this evening? Yes, there is a spirit here who wishes your help. Who is it? Oh, nothing. Oh, here comes something. It's in a different handwriting. C-R-E-M-O-R-N-A. Cremona? This is very strange, Miss Climpson. Cremona was Mrs. Rayburn's stage name. Oh, I do hope. Oh, surely she can't have passed away suddenly. She was perfectly comfortable when I left her. Had I better go and see? Perhaps it's another Cremona. But it's such an unusual name. Why not ask who it is? Oh, good idea. Cremona, what is your second name? Garden. Do you mean Cremona Garden? Yes. Have you passed over? Not yet. In exile. Are you still in the body? Neither in the body or out. Waiting. Oh, look, it's Pongo again. When the mind is departed, the spirit waits in exile for the great change. Why can't you understand? Make haste. Great difficulties. Oh, we are so sorry, Pongo. Mrs. Rayburn, are you in trouble or something? Great trouble. My will. Her will. Oh, I wonder if she wants to alter it. Mrs. Rayburn, do you want to alter your will? No. That's fortunate, because I don't think it would be legal. What do you want us to do about your will, Mrs. Rayburn?
Send it to Norman. To Norman Urquhart? Yes, he knows. He knows what is to be done about it. He wants it. Oh, very well. Can you tell us where to find it? I have forgotten. Search. Oh, dear. Mrs. Rayburn, is it in the house? I tell you, I have forgotten. Deep waters, forgotten. Deep waters, no safety. Failing, failing. Oh, dear, the writing's going. Mrs. Rayburn, please don't go. Try to remember. In the B. B. Yes. What next? B. Oh, it's going. Mrs. Rayburn. Oh, she's stopped. Oh, here's something. Oh, it's Pongo. She has gone. Very tired. Finished. Now. Goodbye. Oh, dear. How dreadfully vexatious. Well, she said her will was in the B. Now, what could that be?
In the bank, perhaps?
Well, it might be. If so, of course, Mr. Urquhart would be the only person who could get it out.
Then why hasn't he? She said he wanted it.
Of course. Then it must be somewhere in the house. Oh, well, what could B stand for?
Oh, dear. Box, bag, bureau.
Bed. Well, it might be almost anything. Oh, what a pity she couldn't finish the message. Shall we try again? Or shall we look in all the likely places?
Let's look first, and then if we can't find it, we'll try again.
Oh, yes, that's a good idea. You'll come and help, won't you?
Yes, if you'd like me to. Yes, of course.
Oh, I'd no idea there could be so many possible places beginning with B.
There are a lot, aren't there?
Oh, it's dreadfully exhausting, isn't it? I mean, wouldn't you like to stop? I can go on searching tomorrow by myself. Oh, it's a shame to tire you out in this way.
Oh, I'm not a scrap tired. Now, what's this? 12, 18, 4, 9.
What is it?
I've no idea. Jottings in a little black book.
Book? Well, could it be a book, do you think?
Why, of course, yes. It might.
Yes, oh, how silly of us not to think of it. In detective stories, wills are always hidden in books.
So there you are. Are there many books in the house?
Yes, downstairs in the library, thousands and thousands of them.
Oh, dear. I suppose we'd better try them then.
They're just the sort of books to hide wills in. Oh, come along. Well, it's funny, isn't it? If the communication hadn't insisted on something beginning with B...
Yes.
Well, I would have expected any papers to be in the safe over there.
Yes. Well, why not look? The letter B may have been referring to something different. You never know.
But if it was in the safe, Mr. Urquhart would know about it.
Well, it wouldn't do any harm to make sure. Oh,
but I don't know the combination. Mr. Urquhart does, of course. We could write and ask him.
She said it was urgent, though. I know. Those 4 figures in that little black book.
Of course, black book. Well, there you are. Oh, how could we have been so silly? Mrs. Rayburn was trying to tell us where to find the combination.
And here it is. Now, where's the safe?
Over here.
Yes. Ah, I see. Shall I try it, or will you?
Oh, you do it, please.
12, 18, 4, 9. Now. Oh, well, there it is. Mrs. Rayburn's will.
And there it was, Freddie, in a long sealed envelope.
Ha! Capital, capital. I say, deuce smart of the old gal to choose the letter B, what? Covers almost anything.
Except safe.
Yes. Well, don't keep me in suspense, old man. What did the will say?
I'll read you the relevant passage. Miss Clemson writes as follows. The property consists of real estate, the house and grounds, and a personalty. Am I not good at legal terms? Which I am not able to calculate exactly, but the gist of it all is this. The real estate is left to Philip Boys absolutely. Now, wait. £50,000 is left to Philip Boys also in cash.
I say.
The remainder, is not this called the residue, is left to Norman Urquhart, who is appointed sole executor.
Well. The real estate and 50,000. Worth murdering for what?
Undeniably. As residuary legatee, Urquhart now stands to get the lot. We may not know how he killed Philip Boys yet, but by golly, at least we know why.
So, where's the will now, Peter?
It's been sent on to Urquhart, as requested by the exiled spirit. It should have arrived at his office first post this morning.
But won't he destroy it?
Oh, you could be right.
Could I?
Yes. Without that will, I doubt whether it would be possible to convict Urquhart of murder. And what would you rather be convicted of? Murder? Or a charge of tampering with a will?
Well...
Precisely. I must telephone Miss Murchison at once.
In that episode of Strong Poison, the parts were played as follows. Lord Peter Wimsey, Ian Carmichael, Miss Clemson, Ambrosine Philpotts, Nurse Booth, Joan Hickson, Freddie Arbuthnot, Christopher Schooler. Pongo was adapted by Chris Miller from the book Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers. The programme was produced by Simon Brett. Lord Peter Wimsey. Starring Ian Carmichael as Lord Peter and Peter Jones as Bunter, with Anne Bell as Harriet Vane and Gabriel Wolfe as Chief Inspector Parker. Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers, adapted in 6 episodes by Chris Miller. Episode 6, Turkish Delight. Lord Peter Wimsey has fallen in love with Harriet Vane, who is awaiting retrial for the murder of her former lover, Philip Boys. Convinced Boys was in fact murdered by his cousin, Norman Urquhart, for his share in their great-aunt, Mrs. Rayburn's fortune, Wimsey has suddenly realized that Urquhart now has the opportunity to destroy vital evidence against him.
Urquhart and Sons Solicitors?
Miss Murchison, is that you, Peter Wimsey here?
Oh, good morning, Lord Peter.
Is anybody in the office? Can you talk?
Oh, yes, it's quite all right. Mr. Pond's in with Mr. Urquhart.
Good. Is the will safe? Mrs. Rayburn's will?
I think so, yes.
Urquhart hasn't destroyed it?
Not so far as I know.
Ah.
It arrived from Windle this morning, and Mr. Pond opened the envelope and took the will into Mr. Urquhart.
But what did he do with it?
Oh, I think he just hid it away. About 2 minutes after Mr. Pond had come out, I pretended to have a query about a letter I was typing and walked straight into Mr. Urquhart's office. He was at the mantelpiece, but as soon as he heard me, he leapt guiltily back to his desk and stuffed a piece of Turkish Delight into his mouth. Oh, he's always eating that stuff, you know.
Trying to distract your attention from something, what?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
unsuccessfully, though. Above the mantelpiece was a curious dark line which I'm sure isn't normally there, and I think it was a secret panel he hadn't slid back properly.
In other words, a hidden cupboard?
Yes.
Very interesting. Could you break into it, do you think, Miss Murchison?
Oh, I don't see why not. I've still got Bill Rum's picklocks, and I haven't forgotten what he taught me about breaking into the deed box. Would you like me to have a go?
I would, yes.
Then I'll see what I can do after everyone's gone this evening.
Splendid. And come round to my flat when you've finished. I'm having a conference this evening with Chief Inspector Parker and Freddie Arbuthnot to discuss all aspects of the case.
Oh, very well. I'll have to go now. Mr. Pond is coming back. Goodbye, Lord Peter.
Goodbye, Miss Murchison, and good luck.
Well, shall I start, Peter?
Yes, Charles. You have the notebook and the organised mind. Freddie and I haven't got either, have we, Freddie?
Not me, old man.
So you start, old Parker Bird. Off you go.
Thank you. Well, the matter stands, I take it, like this. Philip Boyce and Norman Urquhart were the only surviving relations of Mrs. Rayburn, who is very old, very rich, and now quite childish. Now, in 1920, she executed a deed of trust giving Urquhart, who was also her solicitor, sole authority to handle her property. She also made a will, leaving all the real estate and £50,000 to Philip Boyce, while Urquhart was named sole executor and residuary legatee. In other words, now Boyce is dead. All the property devolves to him. In 1925, as we know from Mr. Arbuthnot's highly competent detective work in the city...
I say, really?
Certainly. Urquhart took the dangerous step of plunging into speculation. He made mistakes, he lost money, he plunged more deeply to recover himself, and was involved to a large extent in the great crash of Megatherium Trust Limited. Now, in 1929, just about the time that Philip Boyce and Harriet Vane quarrelled, Mrs. Rayburn had a serious attack of illness and nearly died. The danger passed, but it might recur at any moment. You can see the temptation for Urquhart. If only his cousin weren't alive, he'd be able to clear his debts as soon as the old girl went. So what happens? Almost immediately afterwards, we find him becoming friendly with Philip Boyce and inviting him to stay at the house. And while living there, Boyce has 3 attacks of illness, attributed by his doctor to gastritis, but equally consistent with arsenic poisoning. However, in June 1929, Philip Boyce goes away to Wales and his health improves.
Yeah, that'll be Miss Murchison. Bunter will let her in. Carry on, Charles.
Yeah, well, while Boyce is absent, Mrs. Rayburn has another alarming attack, and Urquhart hastens up to Windle, possibly with the idea of destroying the will if the worst happens. It doesn't happen, and he comes back to London in time to receive Boyce on his return from Wales. And that night Boyce is taken ill with symptoms similar to those of the previous spring, but much more violent. After 3 days he dies. Now,
Miss Murchison, my lord.
Lord Peter.
Have you met Chief Inspector Parker?
How do you do,
The Honourable Freddie Arbuthnot? How do you do?
No, hello. Lord Peter.
I think the messenger has brought news. Look, the eyes glitter wildly. The expression is anxious. The lips are parted. The fingers fumble with the clasp of the bag. The symptoms point to an acute attack of communicativeness. Tell us the worst, Miss Murchison. The will has been destroyed.
Oh, no. It's quite safe. But I found out why Philip Boyce was murdered.
Curiouser and curiouser. I thought that was the one thing we knew already. Sit down, dear lady, and explain.
Oh, thank you. Well, I broke into Mr. Urquhart's cupboard without much difficulty.
You broke in?
It's all right, Charles. Officially, you didn't hear that. Carry on, Miss Murchison.
Yes, well, I checked first that the will was still there, and it was. So then I looked at the other papers. They turned out to be receipts for security, share certificates, and so on. But the names seemed familiar. Then I remembered where I'd seen them before, on Mrs. Rayburn's deed of trust. Lord Peter, Mr. Urquhart raised money for his speculations in the Megatherium Trust by using Mrs. Rayburn's money as security.
Golly. So he not only lost all his own money, but all hers as well.
Yes, and that's a criminal offence, isn't it? Abusing your position as trustee.
It most certainly is, yes.
I say it jolly well is. And you're quite right, Miss Murchison. That, of course, is why it was essential to have Philip Boyce out of the way before Mrs. Rayburn died. Urquhart was quite safe while she was alive. He only had to pay her household bills and so on, and he had a power of attorney to do that. But as soon as she shuffled off this mortal thingamy, he'd have to account to the other heir, i.e. Boyce, for the capital he'd misappropriated. Well done, Miss Murchison. A first-class motive for murder.
Thank you. There is something else as well.
Indeed?
Tucked away at the back of the cupboard, I found a white paper packet. It had the name of a French chemist on it, and it contained a fine white powder.
Arsenic?
I don't know, but I brought a small sample with me. It's in this envelope.
Whoopee! Look at this, Charles.
Yes. It'll have to be analysed, of course.
And so it shall be, embodied caution. Bunter?
My lord?
Make ready the rack and thumbscrew.
Very good, my lord.
Bunter has been taking lessons in Marsh's test for arsenic and performs it to admiration. You know all about that too, don't you, Charles?
Enough for a rough test.
Carry on then, Bunter.
Thank you, my lord.
Yes. You still haven't got round the snag in the case against Urquhart, of course, Peter.
You mean how and when he actually did it?
Precisely. His only opportunity that evening was at the dinner he shared with boys, and if anything in this case is certain, it is that the poison wasn't administered at that dinner. Everything which boys ate or drank was equally eaten or drunk by Urquhart and all the servants, with a single exception of the burgundy, which was preserved and analysed and found to be harmless.
I know. But that is what is so suspicious.
Well?
Did you ever hear of a meal so hedged round with such precautions? It is not credible, Charles.
Oh, possibly not. But when did he administer the poison, then? Mr. Arbuthnot?
Don't ask me, old bean. I'm as much in the dark as you are.
Miss Murchison, any ideas?
I don't think he did it at the dinner at all. Now, how about before or after? Did boys have a whisky when he arrived or before he left?
Alas, he did not. Bunter has been cultivating Hannah Westlock. That's the maid, don't you know? Almost to breach of promise point. And she says boys went straight up to his room on arrival and didn't come down until a quarter of an hour before dinner.
How about the water bottle in the bedroom?
The devil. That is one up to you, Miss Murchison. We didn't think of that. The water bottle. Yes, what a perfectly fruity idea. Oh, Bunter, there you are. Next time you hold Hannah's hand, will you ask her whether Mr. Boyce drank any water from his bedroom water bottle before dinner?
Pardon me, my lord. The possibility had already presented itself to my mind.
It had?
Yes, my lord.
Do you never overlook anything, Bunter?
I endeavour to give satisfaction, my lord.
Then don't talk like Jeeves. It irritates me. What about the water bottle?
I have elicited a somewhat peculiar circumstance relating to the receptacle, my lord. Hannah informed me that she showed Mr. Boyce into his bedroom on his arrival and withdrew, as it was her place to do. She had scarcely reached the head of the staircase when Mr. Boyce put his head out of the door and recalled her. He then asked her to fill his water bottle. She was considerably astonished at this request, since she had a perfect recollection of having previously filled it when she put the room in order.
Could he have emptied it himself?
Not into his interior, sir. There had not been time. Nor had the drinking glass been utilised. Moreover, the bottle was not merely empty, but dry inside.
Dry? Dry. Now that convinces me, Peter. It really does. It's too complete somehow. It's not natural for a defence to be so perfect.
My God, we have convinced Charles Parker. Nothing more is needed. He is more adamantine than any jury.
Yes, but I should still feel happier with a little evidence of a more objective kind.
You would? You want some real arsenic? Well, Bunter, what about this?
The apparatus is quite ready, my lord.
Very good. Then let's go and see if we can give Mr. Parker what he wants. Miss Murchison, Freddie, come along. We're going to Bunter's dark room. Bunter lead, and we will follow.
You will perceive, my lord, that the apparatus is free from contamination.
I see nothing at all.
That, as Sherlock Holmes would say, is what you may expect to see when there is nothing there. Charles, will you pass the water, the flask, and the tube, old Uncle Tom Cobley and all, as being arsenic-free?
I will.
Wilt thou love, cherish, and keep her in sickness or in health? I'm so sorry. Turned over 2 pages at once. Where's that powder? Miss Murchison, you identify this sealed envelope as being the one you brought from the office, complete with mysterious white powder from Mr. Urquhart's secret hoard.
I do.
Kiss the book. Here, go. Now then, the presence of arsenic will be revealed, if at all, by a thin silver stain on the part of this tube in the Bunsen flame. Ready, Bunter?
Yes, my lord.
So we now shoot in some of the powder. There it goes. And here it comes.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Is that really arsenic, Lord Peter?
I hope so. It's either arsenic or antimony.
Allow me, my lord. The addition of a small quantity of solute chlorinated lime should decide the question beyond reach of cavil.
It's going. It's gone. It's all dissolved. That proves it's arsenic, all right.
Well, of course it is arsenic, didn't I tell you? Is that all?
Oh, isn't it enough?
Oh, it's not quite, but it's a long way towards it. Oh, we already knew that Urquhart had a motive for killing Philip Boyes. Miss Murchison has provided us with a better one, and she has now also established that he had means, i.e. arsenic. All we need now is to prove opportunity. Personally, I find the dinner deeply suspicious in itself, but to convince a jury, I should prefer something better than a credo quia impossibile.
Riddle me right and riddle me ree. We've overlooked something, that's all. Give me the statutory dressing gown, an ounce of shag, and I will undertake to dispose of that little difficulty in a brace of shakes. Arsenic. Let me see. Arsenic. They put arsenic in his meat and stared aghast to watch him eat. What's that? Houseman, ain't it? Shropshire lad, yes. A great Scott, of course! Good Look, excuse me for a moment. What's got into old Wimsey?
Well, who knows? Well, this has been very satisfactory. Apart from all personal considerations, I'd be far happier to see that oily-haired fellow in the dock than any woman. And if the force has made a mistake, the sooner it's put right, the better for all concerned.
Charles, Freddy, Miss Murchison, Bunter. I know how it was done.
Good Lord. Really? How?
Well, I've still got to prove it.
A secondary consideration, my lord.
Thank you, Bunter. You know, I think we must have Mr. Urquhart round for coffee. What? Turkish coffee, of course. He has a sweet tooth. And you'd better lay in some Turkish delight as well. Not today, in a day or two, when I've made a few more inquiries. Meanwhile, I am going to Holloway to see the prisoner.
Peter!
Cheerio. Then you won't marry me?
No. It wouldn't be fair to you. And besides...
Well?
I'm frightened of it. One couldn't get away. I'll live with you, if you like, but I won't marry you.
But that sort of thing doesn't always work. Dash it all, you ought to know. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me alluding to it and all that, but it's frightfully inconvenient. And one has as many rows as if one was married.
I know that. But you could cut loose any time you wanted to.
But I shouldn't want to.
Oh, yes, you would. You've got a family and traditions, you know. Caesar's wife and that sort of thing.
Last Caesar's wife. And as for the family traditions, they are on my side for what they're worth. Anything a Wimsey does is right, and heaven help the person who gets in the way. We've got a damned old family motto about it. I hold by my Wimsey, and quite right, too. Who's to stop me?
I suppose they can't stop you, but they can disapprove of me.
I am working on that. My sister Mary has just become engaged to Chief Inspector Parker.
What?
Yes, I know he arrested you, but he's got a good side, too. The fact is, I'm hoping their betrothal will help to let Helen down by degrees. My sister-in-law, don't you know, a most frightful snob. My brother Gerald won't give a damn one way or the other. Oh, he'll huff and puff a bit, but he won't care. Not so long as Helen doesn't nag him about it. It'll be all right.
So you won't have to stink abroad with your impossible wife and live at obscure continental watering places like people in Victorian novels?
Certainly not.
They'll even forget I've had a lover?
My dear child, they're forgetting that kind of thing every day. They're experts at it.
And were supposed to have murdered him.
And were triumphantly acquitted of having murdered him, however greatly provoked.
Well, I won't marry you then. If people can forget all that, they can forget we're not married.
Oh, yes, they could, but I couldn't, that's all. We don't seem to be progressing very fast with this conversation. I take it the general idea of living with me doesn't hopelessly repel you?
No, but... Oh, it's all so preposterous. How can I say what I should or shouldn't do if I were free and certain of surviving?
Why not? I can imagine what I should do, even in unlikely circumstances, whereas what happens to you in court next week really is a dead cert. Straight from the stables.
Well, I can't. Oh, please do stop asking me. I don't know. I can't think. I can't see beyond the next few weeks. I only want to get out of this and be left alone.
All right. All right, I won't worry you. Not fair, abusing my privilege and so on. You can't say pig and sweep out under the circ, so I won't offend you. As a matter of fact, I'll sweep out myself. Keep smiling. More coffee, Mr. Urquhart? Or another piece of Turkish delight, perhaps?
No, thank you very much. All I desire now, Lord Peter, is that you should finish your extraordinary statement so that I may deny it and go.
I'm so sorry. I'm taking too long coming to the point, what? Well, slow but sure is the motto of yours faithfully. If I have so far taken up 70 minutes of your valuable time, believe me, it has not been unprofitably spent.
You may think so. But allowing that all this preposterous story were true, which, as I say, I most emphatically deny, I should be greatly interested to know how you imagine that I administered the arsenic to my cousin.
Very well, Mr. Urquhart. Let us ignore, then, all courses at that dinner previous to the last one. That is to say, the soup, the turbot, and the casserole chicken, since they were all consumed not just by yourself and boys, but also by Mrs. Pettycam and Hannah. Let us, in other words, Mr. Urquhart, concentrate on the jam omelette. Nobody but yourself and Philip partook of that omelette.
Quite so. I need not trouble to deny it. But you will bear in mind that I did partake of it, without ill effects. And moreover, that my cousin made it himself at the table.
So he did. 4 eggs, if I remember rightly, with sugar and jam from what I may call the common stock. No, there'd be nothing wrong with the sugar or the jam. I believe I'm right in saying that one of the eggs was cracked when it came to the table.
Possibly, I don't remember.
No? Well, you're not on oath. But Hannah Westlock remembers that when you brought the eggs in, you mentioned that one was cracked, and particularly desired that it should be used for the omelette. In fact, you yourself put it in the bowl for that purpose.
What about it?
Well, it is not difficult to introduce powdered arsenic into a cracked egg.
Are you suggesting that in the whisking together of 4 eggs, one particular poisoned egg was somehow kept miraculously separated from the rest? There seem to be some flaws in your theory, Lord Peter, as well as in the egg.
I haven't finished my theory yet. My next bit of it is built up from very trifling indications. Your disinclination to drink at dinner, your complexion, a few nail parings I acquired from your manicurist, a snipping or so from your very well-kept hair. I put these together, add a packet of white arsenic from the secret cupboard in your office, rub the hands a little, so, and produce hemp, Mr. Urquhart, hemp.
I don't understand you.
Oh, you know, hemp. What they make ropes of. Great stuff, hemp. Yes, well, about the arsenic. As you know, it's not good for people in a general way, but there are some people, those tiresome peasants in Styria one hears so much about, for instance, who are supposed to eat it for fun. It improves their wind, so they say, and clears their complexions and makes their hair sleek. You must use solid arsenic, I understand, but if you do, and take a little bigger dose day after day, in time, the doings, or what an old lady I knew in Norfolk called the tubes, get used to it. And you can take 6 or 7 grains at a time without so much as a touch of indijaggers.
Very interesting.
Isn't it? Of course, you mustn't drink for 2 or 3 hours afterwards for fear of washing the beastly stuff into the kidneys and poisoning them. But if you're careful about that, you can more or less immunize yourself. Well, Mr. Urquhart, you have a nice clear complexion, except that I notice the arsenic has pigmented the skin here and there. It does sometimes. And you've got sleek hair and so on. And you were careful not to drink at dinner. And as I say, I've been in touch with your manicurist and barber and got specimens from them and had them analyzed and all that. And what do you think? They're bung full of arsenic. Suspicious, what?
I can only suggest to Lord Peter that you should be careful before you communicate this ludicrous theory to anybody. To give out that I am addicted to drug-taking habits is slander and criminal. It is quite true that I have for some time been taking a medicine which contains slight traces of arsenic. My doctor can furnish the prescription. And that may very likely have left a deposit in my skin and hair. But further than that, there is no foundation for this monstrous allegation.
None?
None.
Then how is it you have this evening consumed, without apparent effect, a dose of arsenic sufficient to kill 2 or 3 ordinary people? That disgusting sweetmeat on which you have been gorging yourself, in, I may say, a manner wholly unsuited to your age and position, is smothered in white arsenic. You ate it, God forgive you, an hour and a half ago. If arsenic can harm you, you should have been rolling about in agonies for the last hour.
You devil!
Couldn't you try to get up a few symptoms? Shall I bring you a basin or fetch the doctor? Does your throat burn? Is your inside convulsed with agony? It's rather late in the day, but with a little goodwill you could surely produce some display of feeling even now.
You're lying. You wouldn't dare to do such a thing. It would be murder.
Not in this case, I fancy. But I'm willing to wait and see.
You...
Ah, yes, I wouldn't use violence if I were you. Let the poisoner stick to his bottle. Besides, I'm armed. Pardon the melodrama. Are you going to be sick or not?
You're mad.
Don't say that. Now, come, man, pull yourself together, have a shot at it. Shall I show you the bathroom?
I'm ill.
Well, of course, but your tone is not convincing. It's the third door on the left. Bunter?
My lord?
I think Mr. Parker may require some assistance in the bathroom.
Very good, my lord.
Wait a minute. Oh, come on.
Don't bother. It seems to be under control.
All right.
Yes, Charles?
He wasn't sick. Didn't even try to be. Ran straight in and tried to get out of the window. When he saw it was a 3-story drop, he charged out through the dressing-room door and ran slap-bang into my 2 constables. All right, Benson. You can take him downstairs.
Yes, sir.
By the way, Peter, I don't suppose you did actually poison him, did you? I mean, it doesn't seem to have hurt him, but it'll affect the doctor's report.
No, I didn't, as a matter of fact. I only wanted to see how he'd react to the suggestion. There was a king reigned in the East, Charles, if I may quote Houseman again, who took every poison known to man so that nobody else could poison him. They put arsenic in his meat and stared aghast to watch him eat. They poured strychnine in his cup and shook to see him drink it up. I tell the tale that I heard told. Mithridates, he died old. But I doubt it, old Parker Bird, in this case. I doubt it very much. Marjorie, you come to pick Miss Vane up when it's over?
Yes.
Oh, the clerk's just finishing reading the indictment now. Oh, here comes the Attorney General.
Millard, I'm instructed that the Crown offers no evidence against this prisoner.
Mr. Attorney, do I understand that the charge against the prisoner is withdrawn?
Those are my instructions, Millard.
In that case, members of the jury, there is nothing left for you but to return a verdict of not guilty.
One moment, Millard.
Yes, Sir Impey?
Millard, on my client's behalf, on Miss Vane's behalf, Millard, I beg your indulgence for a few words. A charge has been brought against her, Millard, the very awful charge of murder. And I should like to make it clear, Millard, that my client leaves this court without a stain upon her character. I understand, Millard, that further information has come to the police which definitely proves the innocence of my client. I also understand, Millard, that a further arrest has been made, and an inquiry will follow, Millard, in due course. Millard, this lady must go forth into the world acquitted, not only at this bar, but at the bar of public opinion. Any ambiguity would be intolerable. And I am sure, Millard, that I have the support of the learned Attorney General for what I say.
By all means. I am instructed to say, Millard, that in withdrawing the charge, the Crown proceeds from complete conviction of her absolute innocence.
I am very pleased to hear it. Prisoner at the bar, the Crown, by unreservedly withdrawing this dreadful charge against you, has demonstrated your innocence in the clearest possible way. I most heartily congratulate you on this very satisfactory ending to your long ordeal. Members of the jury, do you find the prisoner guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, Millard.
Very good. The prisoner is discharged without a stain on her character. Next case.
Congratulations. 3 loud cheers.
Thank you.
I've got a taxi.
Good. Where is Lord Peter Wimsey? I must thank him.
No, you won't. He drove off just now with his brother, the Duke of Denver.
Oh.
Don't worry, he'll come and see you.
I don't think he will.
Oh. Too decent, you mean?
Yes.
Perhaps you're right. Yes, I think you are right. He won't do the King Cophetua stunt. And I must say, I'd rather take my hat off to him for it. You'll have to send for him, Harriet.
I won't do that.
I think you will. Yes, I think you will.
Well, Gerald, what do you have to say to me?
Look here, Peter, it's Mary. You're the only person with any influence over her. You've got to do something, Peter. She wants to marry your policeman friend.
I know, why shouldn't she?
Well, it's ridiculous.
Not at all. Charles is one of the best.
Very likely. Mary can't marry a policeman.
Now, look here, Gerald, you leave Mary alone. Charles made a bit of a mistake at the beginning of this murder case, but he doesn't make many. And one of these days he'll be a big man, with a title, I shouldn't wonder, and everything handsome about him. If you want to have a row with somebody, you have it with me.
My God. You're not going to marry a policewoman.
Not quite. I intend to marry the prisoner.
What? Good Lord, what?
Well, if she'll have me.
In the last episode of Strong Poison, the parts were played as follows. Lord Peter Wimsey, Ian Carmichael, Bunter, Peter Jones, Harriet Vane, Anne Bell, Chief Inspector Parker, Gabriel Wolfe, Miss Murchison, Betty Huntley Wright, Freddie Arbuthnot, Christopher Schooler, Norman Urquhart, John Pullen, Attorney General and the Duke of Denver, Stephen Thorne, Sir Impey Biggs, Robert Gillespie, Marjorie Phelps, Rosalind Adams. Turkish Delight was adapted by Chris Miller from the book Strong Poison by Dorothy L Sayers. The programme was produced by Simon Brett.